And welcome to Down Under Network. This is the final round of the ANZ Team Championships. We are seeing first and second place, Queensland versus Western Australia, playing for the win. I am joined once again by the wonderful gentleman and a scholar from Goat House Gaming, Goat House House of Goat, Nick Kelly. There's goats. And I'm pretty sure I've got others on the chat that will chime in at various points. Who is there?
Well, I'm here.
There we go. And we are joined by Mike Bask from Objective Secured.
Hey, look, when you got WA in the final, you got to drop in and say hi, and hope that a WA victory gives a Queensland loss. So,
mate,
it wouldn't be Australian 40k without bias.
No, exactly.
Bias? Who said anything about bias? No, yeah, fair.
Has the matchups been done yet?
Yes.
Yeah, they're in Down Under Pairings.
They sure are, and I am just playing around with some logos. Trying to find where I put OBSEC's logo. I'll find it.
Well, talking about the matchups for this round, while Diffy's looking for logos and so on, you've obviously got Pete with the Astartes versus Liam's Orcs here on the streaming table, but we've got a Tau v Tau mirror match between Matt and Rory. We've got Knights and Drakari. We've got Space Marines and technically Blood Angels, but neither of those lists are what they listed in Down Under Pairings. Simon's Drakari against the Double Flyer Custodes. Hayden's Death Watch versus our Genestealer Cults. The Death Guard and the Admech. And then Eric with his Tyranids against Tom's Anari, old school Anari. So, it's... I was sort of looking at them as they were doing the matchups, and it looks like there's been some very tough decisions by both sides of the team, both teams.
For sure. I think it's going to be interesting to see. I think there's a bit of tension. Between the two teams.
Well, this is a repeat of 2016.
Yeah.
We were playing for first and second in Sydney, and Queensland got the better of us that year, and we lost that final round to finish second.
Yep. So, so the pairings that were pretty much just read out by Mr. Bask. So Liam was first put up, Pete was paired against, and Liam said, boom, I want the stream table. So let's jump on into those lists. So the Orc list, if you're a follower of Down Under Network, you've probably seen something similar, because Liam's actually been on a couple of times now, I think. So let's jump on there. Actually, has Liam already been on this weekend?
He was on yesterday.
Yeah.
When he played the Shadow Sword and Ravenwing.
Yes, that's right. The game was over relatively quick. I forgot about it. So Liam has, for those who weren't at that game, he has an Evil Sons detachment with Warboss, Weird Boy, Min troops of Grots. Then he's got 10 Meganobs. I said at the time, and I think Bask agreed with me at the time, and I think McGowan agreed with me at the time, that he never mobs them up, and then he went and mobbed them up that game. So we'll see what happens this round. He's then got a Spearhead of Bad Moons. So double Big Mech. One has the Relic Shock Attack Gun. Then he's got, once again, Min Grots. He's got Tank Busters and Looters. And then he's got a final third mixed battalion with Shock Attack Gun, Weird Boy, and Grots.
I don't think it makes much sense for him to mob up in this particular game against Pete's Centurion army.
I don't think it does. It then just gives him one set. This is pre-FAQ rules. That is correct. So the lists were submitted about a week, I think, before the
week
FAQ
and a half
drop.
or whatever it was.
Yeah, thereabouts. So lists were already in. They were getting checked. There was no way we could really change it at this point. For what it's worth, we have been, and it's only come up once or twice, if there's been a rule that has been questionable and there wasn't a pre-fac for it, then we are using the response in the current fac. We just won't be using any erratas because they're clear change of rules. So it's a really weird combination scenario we've got going on there, but
it's sometimes all you can do though when these big events come around and they drop something like this on you so close to the deadline. There's not much, you do what you can.
1 second.
You just do what you can. They drop so close to the actual event, you can't afford to ask for everyone for a resubmit. So yeah.
All right, so that is Liam's list. Let's jump on over to Pete's list. So Pete's list is Gilliman. He then has a battalion of Ultramarines with the Phobos Libby and a Tech Marine. Then Sniper Scouts. He's then got the Primaris Ancient with the Relic Banner. 5, 5, and 4 cents. So a grand total of 14 for those trying to do maths at home. And then he's got an Og's detachment of the Thunderfire Cannon.
Yeah, and the Centurions are basically a wall of Hurricane Bolters and Heavy Bolters, except there's a single Twin Las in each squad.
Yep. So yes, that is the lists. And if we head on over to look at the table, so Liam has deployed some of his models so far, or deployed. So if you look at those orcs, though, that look like they're on the top level, they're not actually on the top level. It's just easier for placement. They're at the bottom. Yep.
Yeah.
This deployment, or this table, I think, does quite well for Liam.
I feel like they've, looking at the stream table today from yesterday, it looks like the terrain's been moved pretty significantly because there's that big hollow space at the top right-hand corner of the table.
Top right-hand corner, underneath that tray, is a building.
Oh, is there?
Yeah,
the buildings have moved though.
A little.
Yeah, that building is at the top left, where Pete's hands are right now.
Yep.
That also needs to rotate 90 degrees and turn and moves kind of
actually,
towards the center of the table. But if they're playing it that way, you obviously don't want to change it now that they're deploying.
Yes. I'm going to leave it.
Yeah, there's no point in trying to change it now because then you'd essentially have to do a reset.
Yep.
But it certainly changes the dynamic of the table because you've now got that big kill zone. Well, it must be 12 inches wide at the top space there. You've got a huge space in the middle of the table where it's just a catastrophe of no cover.
Yep. So this one is, in case you were unable to tell just yet. Ooh, is that the Paddle Poodle?
Yes, it is.
Jeez, just bear with me.
Seem to have some lag though.
Yep, bear with me while I bump some volume up on you there. Mate, we've got a full house. We've got the Paddle Pot Poodle, Mr. Matt Antonello.
G'day, Matt.
Or maybe we don't. Who knows with that? Yes, so the mission is Vanguard Strike Deployment. The Eternal War is the ETC altered version of Breachhead. So basically all 6 markers count towards this. We've got choose deployment zones. 2 markers are placed in no man's land. And players can do this in whichever order they prefer, and in a place of their choosing, but always starting with markers 1, then 2. And then, where's the rest? Oh, and 2 markers are placed in each deployment zone. I've had a go at so many people this weekend for not finishing sentences. It's been a long weekend. Yes, so 2 in deployment zone, 2 in no man's, 2 in the opponent's deployment zone. Tactical objectives. So the Maelstrom is Visions of Victory with 3 cards per turn cap. So you generate 4 cards each turn. For each card that needs to be generated, draw 2 instead. Your opponent picking which goes to the discard pile and which goes to the player's hand.
Yes, yep, I know this mission.
Man, this is bonkers.
Well, this mission that's going to do well for the Gene Stealer cult. because there's a I don't know whether Ben realizes it, but there's a 1 CP stratagem he can spend at the start of the game to make all his cards hidden, which means that your
How
opponent...
would that work with this?
So you draw your first 2 Maelstrom cards, and they're blind, so your opponent just picks one at random. So you take all the strategy out of removing the cards, essentially, and put it back to a random state.
Yeah. Yep. If one of the 2 drawn cards is unachievable, immediately redraw another one. So you always have 2 from them to pick. Yeah, so it's an interesting one there.
There's a comment in the chat that says they can't use that strat. It was in the ETEC FAQ. There you go.
Swolduck, mate. So that is Mr.
that
Hayden
the duck?
Walduck. That is the duck.
Should he not be deploying?
He's not playing.
Isn't he?
No. So Walduck has come down with the Black Plague, and left like at the dinner pretty much before anything started. And Josh McGowan, who was sitting next to me yesterday, is playing.
Okay.
Yeah, he was marked down as the 9th man, the coach, and he stepped in. And luckily, Nick and Jared saved me this morning because it was gonna be rough.
Oh, fair enough.
I hope you're feeling all right, Ducky.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, man.
Bad lag at the moment, Josh. Because Targs, you're also in the Discord chat by the looks of it as well. Yeah, unfortunately, Twitch does what it does. There's usually somewhere between 10 and 15 seconds between what you guys, what I say and
what we
can
see,
see,
yeah.
and then what you see.
You get used to it.
Yeah, it's an interesting play. Timo TPB, yeah, hard to follow. Timo TPB. Interesting. Okay.
I reckon there's, watching the video and obviously hearing what you're talking about, I reckon there's probably somewhere between 5 and 10 seconds lag for me at the moment, and
Yep.
I'm streaming at 720p.
Yep. Which should, look, realistically, it should impact no one who's watching it that isn't on
No.
the Discord with us. So,
No, so I mean, from what I'm watching here at the moment, Liam's just putting models inside a building on the right-hand side of the screen. It looks
That's
like
what he's
Pete's
doing.
finished his deployment. So there's that big wall of Centurions deployed, and I'm assuming what's happened here is the classic sort of triangle deployment of objectives, so that Pete can essentially try and sit on those 3 objectives for most of the game with those Centurions and just shoot. And try and force an assault to try and dig him out of there. And obviously Gilliman stood in the middle of that, makes that problematic. The last time these two played at Masters, though, Gilliman went on a killing spree and killed like 17 Mega Knobs or something.
It was crazy. He single-handedly got him back in the game. I think he still lost it, unfortunately, for Pete.
Yeah. Pete did unfortunately lose that one, but it's interesting to see this game replayed because both of these players and both of these lists are going to ETC. Or versions of these lists.
Yeah, I would say the Orc list is probably going to be close to it. The Marine list, I think, will very likely change. I think that was discussed last night. Yeah.
So am I right in saying that
I can't really hear you there, Paddle Pop. I'm not sure how far you are from your mic. I've got you on full ball.
Obviously, I have to come closer.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
that's better.
That's what she said.
What are you painting at the moment there, Paddles?
Painting my Death Company. I've got people to chainsword at Terracon.
People to chainsword. Fair.
I like that chainsword is now a verb.
Similar to getting poleaxed.
Yep.
So, Div, can you tell us, did Liam deploy first or did Pete?
I cannot
Because
tell you.
It looks like Liam's deploying Gretchen at the moment.
Yeah, that's possible.
But I can't tell whether he's deploying them or whether he's just moving them out of the buildings with advance rolls.
He started rolling dice.
Yeah, that's why I'm confused.
That would suggest the game started. Yep. Pete's just about to I think click the bit that says turn 1. So it looks like
Liam went first.
Liam's got first turn. And he's just picking up handfuls of models.
Well, I'm assuming those are either in a building or they're... Yeah, I don't know. It's just a lot of models there.
Yep. So
This
yes,
is really important for the Orcs because of their Thunderfire cannon stratagem.
yep.
Being able to halve their charge range
Yeah.
completely stops them being able to jump and charge.
Yeah, well, which another reason why you don't want to mob those mega knobs up, because obviously, and yeah, because you don't want that to happen. All right. So, for those that are just joining us, this is the 5th round of the ANZ 40k Team Championships. This is Queensland are currently in first place on 4 wins and a large number of battle points, and WA are in second place in 4 wins and slightly less battle points. But Queensland is significantly ahead, or at least to the point where if they draw, Queensland will win the event.
Yep.
So WA have to win this round to win.
This is literally a repeat of 2016.
Yeah. The next table, next rows or tables or whichever way you want to look at it. Next teams down. If I
think Victoria's in 3rd, but even with a max win for them, they can't finish higher than 3rd.
That's correct. So let me just show that up. So basically, you've got Vic versus Mercs. Vic and Mercs and ACT are all on 2 wins. So no matter what happens with them, they're basically all fighting for 3rd place at that point. Vic has enough battle points ahead of ACT. So if ACT and Vic win, Vic are ahead enough that they'll take it out.
Yeah. Whereas it gets a bit more grey with the Mercs and the ACT.
Yeah, if Mercs and ACT win, it's a much closer conversation.
What I'm really pleased about is, we do have a fairly tight midfield, which does make it interesting where we've got 3 teams vying for 3rd, which is good.
Yep. Yeah.
What's been a surprise, and it's just come through the comments that I can see here, is that New South Wales and even New Zealand were both teams that I would have said are nice sort of dark horses to sit in this pack. And they haven't had the best of weekends.
All right, so let's ignore round 2 just for a second when New Zealand got poleaxed by Queensland.
Yes.
Round 3, they got 74-point loss, 1 more point, and that's a draw.
Yep.
Round 4, they got a 64-point loss, which is 11 off a draw. Like, it's not... Like, those were respectable loss. Like, 74 is literally the best loss you can get.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get a better loss than 74, because then it's a draw. New South Wales had to deal with both
WA round 1.
Yeah, WA, Vic in round something.
Do they have Queensland in round 4?
I can tell you. I have the power. I got the power. So New South Wales had WA Mercs. They beat Vic, and they lost to Queensland.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So you can follow this all on Down Under Pairings. Something we haven't come back to for a little while is our Dream Team competition. So at the moment... Oh, the suspense is killing me. Lachlan Rigg is currently in first place with his Dream Team, followed by Pete, and then Simon, then Dave, and
I think I think when you look at like Lockie's team, for example, it's basically WA and Queensland players.
Yep. So if we look at Lockie's team, he's gone Liam Hackett, Simon, Adam Camilleri, Eric Lathuris, Lachlan Rigg, Thomas White, Lachlan Carter from the Mercs, And Mitch Byrne
and
from
Mitch.
Team WA.
Yeah, so it's basically all of WA and Queensland apart from Camilleri.
Yep. And as far as the leaderboard's concerned, from a player's perspective,
I think Liam sits on top
Liam
at the moment, doesn't
Hackett is the largest number of Dream Team points, as well as wins and battle points. Liam's currently on a perfect 80.
Perfect weekend. Yep.
He's one game away this game, so this is going to come down to whether or not Pete can steal some points off the top player. Eric Lathuris is on 77. He's dropped 3 points.
3 points.
Lachlan Riggs having a good weekend. Adam Camilleri from the Down Under Network is having a very strong weekend with Tau. And then as you know, there's quite a few there. The top 9 players are all on 4 wins. Now, the number of wins for a player is not always that. Doesn't actually always tell a huge story, because it depends on how that player's been used in a pairing exercise. But no matter how someone's been used in a pairing exercise, if someone gets 100 points, they've done well.
It's a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Ben Scaluzia, I can never say his surname. He's one of the WA boys. He went 100 for 100 last year.
On Team Mercs, I believe.
Yes, as part of the Team Mercs for last year. He also went and did a perfect weekend at the Masters event here in WA. Straight after that, he literally didn't drop a game in 11 games.
The question was who's on the Merc team. We have Denise, Aaron, Brian, Jeremy, Lachlan, Liam, Stephen, and Wayne.
They're basically Queensland 2.0.
I'm surprised that Denise is on the Merc team rather than the full Queensland team. I played him when I went up there, and he thumped me silly.
He didn't have a good year last year at ATC. He was running last year. But I think the process of selection, whatever Simon's used to help select the team, like I was talking to him when I was in Queensland a couple of weeks ago, and it was fairly thorough and looked at a number of factors, and for obviously that's ended up with Denise missing a spot. There's a couple of guys on the Merc team who could easily have been in the main team.
Mate, it's the Vic team is solid. Sorry, Queensland team is solid.
Yeah. Look, I'd almost
Vic
say
team
Queensland probably Queensland's team this year is arguably one of the best teams they've ever fielded, if not the best team they've ever fielded.
I'd agree with that statement.
It's missing Pat Carter from a couple of years ago.
Pat Carter's not really playing 40k anymore.
No, I was speaking to him at Mount Gravatt while he was playing AOS, and he made it clear that that was where his gaming focus was at the moment.
Yep.
But Pat was a contender, 2015, 2016 period for the team. But yeah, I would say this is arguably one of the strongest teams they've ever fielded.
Yep, I'd agree with that, 100%.
Whatever it is
Certainly
that
the best
Simon.
set of lists that they've ever fielded.
The lists are an interesting one for me when I was going through them.
They're very focused.
Yeah, they are. And that's a gamble in this sort of event. You are obviously relying on players being able to translate those focus lists into wins almost irrespective of matchup, because you do, by focusing those army lists, you do put yourself in danger of a bad matchup costing you games.
Yeah, I think they've got the depth, and that's the thing. The depth of player in this event for this team is just, it's really deep.
Look, I remember going through Simon's list with a couple of WA boys, and it's basically his Masters list, but with Raiders instead of Venoms. And the guy's going, there's 720 points in transports. What are they going to do? And I went, they're Disintegrator Raiders. They're going to shoot you a lot, and they're not going to die a lot. And that kind of covers it. And I think a lot of that list with just Witches and Raiders is really misleading in how it's going to play on the table, unless you're ready for it. Because it shoots a boatload, it traps you in combat, and it does a lot of work. And if you're not prepared for it, it's going to mess you up.
Also very redundant.
Yes. Well, there's nothing, you can't kill anything in there and have a significant impact. And the amount of effort required to kill a Raider or a Ravager...
That's exactly right.
Yeah, is fairly high. It's misleading. It's certainly... I still see players do it to this day, where they remember the days of 5th and 6th and 7th edition when the Raiders and And Venoms were, cardboard aeroplanes that died when you looked at them sideways. And now, 2 bolter shots can't kill a Venom.
Oh, mate, I love the good old days where you just shoot a bolter and go, I glance at 6, dead.
Yep. And that's the thing. Like, you talk about a Blackheart Raider, which is, I think, what Simon did. Those Blackheart Raiders with Feel No Pain, 10 wounds, toughness 5, 4 up, 5 up, 6 up. They're more durable than a toughness 7 Rhino. They're more durable than a Chimera. They take killing. They're remarkably durable vehicles.
So for those interested on the pairings, Eric doesn't like them.
Oh, really?
No.
To me, it looks like there were a lot of tough decisions made by both teams, because there's a couple there that I wouldn't have picked for WA. I still think the matchups, as much as it pains me to say it, probably still favour Queensland. Looking at the players in question, the Eric v Tom Anari Tyranids will be really interesting to see. Eric's got a lot of experience playing against Anari. But Tom can't be underestimated.
Mate, Tom's a bulldog, but he's lost his winning streak. He lost his winning streak.
Simon versus Lockie will be a really good, tough game, because Simon's got the guns to down Lockie's planes. And when I played that game, I only had 3 Ravagers. I had 2 Craftwell Grav tanks as well, mind you. I don't know Lockie's got the guns to down Simon's boat fleet, and Simon might just outscore him in that game just through body count. It'll depend on how quickly Simon can deal with the Grav tanks. If Simon can take those out in turn 1 or turn 2, then I think Simon wins that game.
The Lasstrom bolt cannon has 3 damage?
Yeah, it's the... are you talking about on the Orion or on the Calidus? Because those Grav tanks are horrific.
Calidus.
Yeah, those things are dangerous for the Dark Eldar. If Simon can neutralise those 3 Grav tanks in turn 1 or turn 2, then he probably wins that game, because those flyers are only 1 damage or 2 damage shots at a middling strength value.
Yep.
Whereas those Calidus just horrifically strip wounds off of those Dark Eldar vehicles. And I'm assuming that Simon will be aware of that. Mick Larkin and Mitch Byrne, Drakari versus the Knights. Mitch's list is Rax and Talos and not a lot of guns. So Mick stands a chance of winning that game if he can just hold them off and outshoot them, but also you're dealing with toughness 5, 4 up invulnerable, Feel No Pain, Rax. They're not going to die easy.
Yep, so I'm just going to spin this camera around and see how we go. No, that's not
I definitely think this matchup is the way the pairings have happened have been a very mixed bag for both teams. There's nothing there that screams that one side got the advantage over the other.
Fair. So regarding Mitch and Mick, so Mitch has pretty much deployed his Talos all at the back of the table.
Oh, okay.
And yeah. So it looks like he's going to play quite defensively.
I'm surprised that both teams went for that. I'm sure they didn't want to.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, I just had a look at the standings. Then Rory hasn't had the best of weekends, and Matt seems to have done quite well with the Riptide. So on paper,
Matt was put up. Matt was their first put up, and I don't know what the other list was that they paired up, that Queensland
they
put
offered
forward.
Tau.
They offered Tau. Else. So yeah, as I said, WA put Tau up. Queensland gave them Tau as an option, and WA took it.
It doesn't
that surprises me.
No, not from a WA point of view. I think that makes total sense. Not many of them want to play that many broadsides. There's 9 broadsides there. And all the drones in the universe.
I would not want to put up Riptides against those broadsides.
I don't think anyone wants to play Tau.
But I think the trick there is they're relying on the fact that the broadsides shooting back at 2+ toughness 7 Riptides is the least evil scenario for them. When you look at the list that WA is fielding, you don't want those broadsides firing at Centurions. You don't want them firing at racks with indirect fire and all the rest of it. You don't want them firing at most of the other armies. So being
So
able to remove...
do you think Matt's gone into that game just saying, right, I'm going to cop it. I'm going to do my best to not bleed too much.
It wouldn't surprise me if that was not a bussing as such, but it sort of reads to me like that was a team decision where we just want to take that out of the equation. Obviously, I don't have access to the matchup spreadsheets for WA, but the way that reads to me is I don't know who in WA. You might want to try the Custodes against them, but that's a big risk because those broadsides put out so many shots.
72 shots from those broadsides. That's a lot of ones you're rolling with Custodes.
Exactly.
I wouldn't do that.
No, but I mean the Custodes with the 2 flyers at -2 to hit, the tanks are -1 to hit, a whole bunch of toughness 7 and 8. It's a gamble, and I think that's the reason why you've got a Tower Mirror match, is if Matt was put up and then got the option to remove that from the team, it's the least evil scenario for the team. It's only a hunch, but that's the way it reads to me.
That's fair.
Well, we've got a lot of dice rolling on the screen at the moment.
Looks like the Thunderfire Cannon's just gone, which I'm assuming was from a shock attack gun, or maybe the looters. I can't tell for sure.
I'm going to chuck on the roving mic and head over there in a sec. So bear with me 1 second while I just play around with some stuff over here. And there we go. I feel as though both these players, well, they're both good lads. They're both, I think, a Australian team together. I think it'll be a good game to commentate at the table, and get their input as the game goes. We'll see if they like that idea, but I'll back in a sec.
The loss of that Thunderfire Cannon so early in the piece is going to be only good for Liam.
Interesting to see that he hasn't thrown some Mega Knobs in there.
He might have been... I suppose at this point in time, though, with everything in those buildings, Liam can afford to be a little bit withdrawn for turn 1 and probably even turn 2, because the Centurions' Hurricane Bolters aren't going to come into play at this distance. And with the loss of the Thunderfire Cannon, they're shooting heavy bolters at Mega Knobs that are 1+ armor, or they're out of range of the looters and things. Like, it's gonna... If Pete wants to kill anything and to stop the rain of death coming in, he's actually going to have to advance with those Centurions now that the Thunderfire Cannon's gone. So...
Do you think he was just waiting for the Thunderfire Cannon to go before the Mega Knobs?
Yeah, I think now that the Thunderfire is gone and there's no risk of those Mega Knobs being hamstrung by the half move or half charge abilities, I think there's a chance there. But Liam can afford to play the long game. He's got 3 hours to play the game out. And without the sniper scouts, what are they going to do? They're going to kill grots, essentially, or start shooting at the big mechs with shock attack guns. And there's only 15 or 16 in the list. That's probably not enough to really threaten the shock attacks over that period of time. And with all the guns on those Centurions, 24, or the big volume fire is 24 inches. They have to come out of that little bunker now, which isn't what Pete wants to do. Pete was hoping, obviously, to control those 3 objectives, force those Mega Knobs to jump, and then gun them down as they came in, and then use Gilliman as a counterattack.
Keeping in mind they can spec scan.
Yeah, look, Auspex scan is a thing, and that's still a possibility, obviously. But again, with Mega Knobs versus heavy bolters, it's not the end of the world. It's bad, but it's not the end of the world.
What was that, Pete?
Can I swear?
Yeah, you can swear.
That fucking shock attack gun. Again.
It was a shock attack that killed the...
Most Australians get PTSD from this class.
Actually, Diff, where's the 6th objective? Because I can see the 3 that Pete stood on, and then there's objective 2 just sort of mid-table.
So there's an objective. I'll point it out. It's the building in the bottom right-hand corner. Pointing it just now. The camera angle kind of blocks it off. That's where that other objective is.
Hiding under a building, is it?
Oh, it's not hiding under the building. From where the camera is, like the building is blocking the line of sight to the objective.
Right.
So is that down in the bottom right-hand corner of the frame?
Yeah, bottom right-hand corner of the frame. So you've got a building with mega knobs on the top and a shock attack gun.
Yep.
That shock attack gun, which is kind of sitting on the bottom right-hand corner of the building, is directly above the center of that objective.
Okay.
So that's where it is, obviously on the floor, but
So looking at that then, Liam's got 2 objectives under control. That top right-hand corner, I think, has Space Marine Scouts on it from the camera.
They're grots.
Oh, they're grots, are they?
He would have jumped them.
Okay, that makes sense.
So
well, that's good for him, because with progressive scoring, that's going to give him 3 points straight away.
Yeah.
And then it looks like he's picked up a couple of Maelstrom points and a kill, obviously, from that Thunderfire cannon. So he's off to a decent start, and he's still got a bunch of CP up his sleeve as well.
Yep, there's still plenty of CP left.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a turn 3 assault from Liam, would be my guess, depending on what Pete does.
Yeah, I think Liam is to me, or I don't think he wants to give Gilliman too many shots at it.
No.
I think we're likely to be basically looters, shock attack gun, peppering away at the Centurions.
Yeah, well, I mean, if Liam focus fires on a squad, and you start with the squad of 4, ideally, and try and just trim those units before you go in. And if he has a decent shooting phase turn 2, he can probably take out 4 Centurions. Then going in with 10 Mega Knobs and exchanging 10 Mega Knobs for 5 more Centurions actually becomes tenable. You just win that through attrition. And Pete just trying to close some gaps for the deep strike there as well, with that Thunderfire cannon now gone. I actually think that I don't know whether, I'm assuming they can't hear me at the moment, Diff.
No, they cannot.
So the triangle that Pete's formed of those objectives, the bottom-most objective that's sort of closest to Liam's board side.
Yep.
It looks like the Centurions wrap all the way down to the building on the bottom left of that building's corner.
Yep.
So what I would be looking at doing is dropping the Meganob bomb below that building, so towards the bottom left-hand corner, and using that building to screen from Overwatch.
Yep, potentially.
And then you're looking at an 8-inch charge, because they're Evil Sons from memory.
Yep.
With a reroll. And you're looking to tag. You only need 1 to make combat, and you're only going to take Overwatch from 2 or 3 at best. And drag that unit into combat with the Mega Knobs, and then just gut them. And then because of the scouts are in the building, you can then use your consolidate move to essentially keep those Mega Knobs safe. Which means that you're then going to have to try and dig them out with Gilliman, which means exposing Gilliman to the next wave of Mega Knobs. Or alternatively, dropping the other unit of Mega Knobs up the top on Pete's board edge, and then doing the same thing around the other building.
And then exactly, what's on levels, etc.
It'll come down to how strongly Liam controls this game, because if Liam's allowed to dictate the pace, then he's going to be able to pick those Ultramarines apart a bit at a time, as much as it pains me to say.
Yep.
If he can shoot even 1 unit of those Centurions down with his looters, that strategy
kill 3 or 4 of them in the shooting
basically completely
phase.
with just Gilliman.
Yeah. You kill 3 or 4 in the shooting phase, you charge and kill 4 to 5 more in the assault phase with first unit Mega Knobs, and then Gilliman has to step out and do work, at which point he's subject to looter fire and all sorts.
Just to clarify who's on levels, who's not. So as far as the orcs are concerned, every orc except for shock attack gun models are on the bottom level. In Pete's corner, though, all those models are on the top.
Okay.
So that would make the charge a little harder.
Yeah, but not
Not impossible.
Usually so. Not enough that I wouldn't be game to try it, because even if you jump there and fail the charge, you're in a position where Pete still has to move those Centurions to get a beeline on any more than 2 or 3 of them, I suspect. And it puts pressure on that flank, where you can then drop another unit on the opposite flank to put more pressure on and separate them even further. And 10 Mega Knobs, you can't ignore them. You have to go and deal with them. And 5 Centurions versus 10 Mega Knobs at 9 inches of distance, you bet on the Mega Knobs.
It only takes 2 or 3 Mega Knobs to do huge damage.
Absolutely. With those D3 damage claws, all it takes is a couple of hot rolls and you just lose the squad. They're 4 attacks each.
5, I think.
A basic Orc Boys 2. Maybe they're only 3. I thought they were 3 or 4. Either way, 10 Mega Knobs versus 5 Centurions. Even if half of the Mega Knobs are dead by the time they get to swing, the Centurions still die. Was it 15? Even if it's 3 attacks each, it's 15 attacks, 10 wounds, 10 hits.
3 attacks base.
Yeah, so 7 wounds at neg 3. So you're gonna probably kill 5 Mega Knobs will probably kill 1 Centurion per Mega Knob.
That's right. They're 5 when you take a kill saw and the Goth.
There you go. I think these are Evil Sons in this list, though, for the +1 charge.
Yeah, they're Evil Sons, and I think they have claws.
Yeah, so they're just the D3s and 3 attacks.
Yeah, when you fight twice with them.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's so I'm assuming what Liam will be looking to do is just pull the army apart a bit at a time and force him to come out from behind those buildings and craters.
When you got 20 of those Mega Knobs that are moving that fast with the jump, it's that's a scary thought. That
really great example of how important screening units are in this edition. That just being able to stop deep striking, really.
Yeah. And look, I mean, this army, obviously, the Ultramarines work on those scouts being the screen, but I can't really tell where Pete's deployed them from the camera angle. There's obviously a squad on top of that building immediately above his bottom objective, but I can't see the other units.
Presumably there must be some in each of those buildings, or it would have just made more sense to jump a unit of Mega Knobs forward and kill 2 squads of Centurions on the first turn.
Yeah, I'd be inclined to agree with you there.
So I can't confirm exactly where they are, but I'm looking at the tank busters, which are currently sitting on a tray, which I'm assuming are in some level of reserve for deep strike, like maybe paid the strat.
The warp portal thing that they have.
Yeah. Is that corpses? Is the question?
No, the tank busters haven't come in. But yes.
Yeah, they're having a dispute now. So the tank busters, one player says they're in reserves. Pete says they're actually dead. I'll 4+ it. I'll 4+ it. Pete should have seen Pete's face. He's got very excited.
So that looks like a really uneventful turn for Pete then. If it looks like Liam's drawing cards for round 2.
Yep.
End of the movement.
Yeah, I reckon we'll see a turn 3 jump. It's a risk, because obviously if he fails the psychic test, then that's a problem.
Look, he won't fail it.
Well, no, I mean, you've got CP to burn, and you've got, I'm assuming they're warheads as well, so...
You can't fail it.
Why not?
Because it's a, warp charge 5?
I thought it was 6.
Either way, with this command point and plus something
You
to...
should fail it.
You'd really struggle to fail it. So movement's done. He's pretty much just chilled where he was. And he's moved into the shooting phase.
So we're skipping psychic, so it is going to be a turn 3 assault.
Yeah, I think what we'd like to see is the same turn the tank drop.
He really needs to take this opportunity to move backwards and take advantage of the deep strike bubbles from the scouts.
Yeah,
it's definitely one that when that overwhelming force lands, and it will land turn 3 at this stage, then if you can avoid being multi-charged, then that's a good thing. because those mega knobs can easily charge the scouts, tag the centurions, and even though the centurions can then fall back unless you somehow manage to wrap them, it's another -1 they don't need.
Yep.
Buildings are a fantastic opportunity to create an unchargeable deep strike screen as well. You put the scouts 1.1 inches back from the wall. The mega knobs can't stand in the wall, so they can't actually charge the scouts.
Depending on, so I hear what you're saying. I have to confirm what the ETC FAQ basically said, but you might still be able to get away with charging.
I think wobbly model would then kick in.
Wobbly model's different in I guess it could be.
No, it's different in ETC.
ruling.
It's different in ETC.
Oh, is it?
As in, there's a whole. They use the wobbly model rule to fix some janky shit. Like if you fill out a level of influence and you physically can't place a model, you can still charge that unit. You measure the distance to what you would need to get in base contact, and you don't actually move the models there because obviously you can't float in midair. You use the wobbly model rule, or wobbly model applies in that scenario. So, all right, my model is here, floating in midair, and you get to hit.
That's great. It's one of the things I find really jarring about 8th edition is little situations where
The terrain rules are the worst.
someone should be able to be charged, but for some reason can't.
Looks like
I'm assuming that's Ludify going into those scouts.
I think it is. And scouts are bannering up and shooting back and stuff. That was dead scoots.
Shooting scouts signals that perhaps what he's aiming for is to just play cagey.
Yeah.
He's actually you guys can't hear what they're saying, can you?
No.
Yeah. Like 5 seconds before you said they said you're playing cagey, Liam goes, "I've never played this cagey with these orcs before, but I feel like I have to."
But why?
Yeah, see, Pete I can hear. But why?
Pete's a noisy cunt. Bomb count for the weekend.
Yeah, and this sort of strategy makes sense for Liam. There's no need for him to be hyper aggressive with the army. He outshoots them at this distance, and as soon as those scouts are gone and the screening's gone, then the tank busters and the mega knobs can just go in and do what they want to do.
Also, very importantly, Queensland are quite a bit ahead of WA in the team scores.
Yeah.
So he only needs an 11.
Well,
WA needs to win the round to win the event. If they draw, then
they come second.
Yeah.
The thing worth pointing out though is Eric feels like a rubbish that Queensland's going to get thumped.
Who says that?
Eric.
Really?
Yep.
That's interesting to hear.
He's a bit
Probably
cagey.
him having high standards for what counts as good, though.
Yeah, he is.
Well, the way the matchups are, it's not an already sealed deal.
No,
so
it's not.
It's up to the players at this point. And for Eric, who's, I suppose...
Yeah, if you can win it at the
down.
matchup phase where you get 6 out of 8 that you want, and the players can deliver reliably on those 6 of the 8, then you win the event, which is, a great strategy to have. But this looks like it's a 50-50 in terms of they got what they want and what they didn't want.
Yeah. I think the issue here is that they just couldn't set. I don't think go for. There's a lot of close games, and we're talking about 2 teams that are undefeated.
But the
I think
close
going
game
into
scenario suits Queensland, though.
yes and no. Like yes and no. I think WA don't have the same breadth as Queensland, but you don't need the same breadth as a team. You need to get wins. 4 wins better than.
Yeah, but if they go 420 zips apiece, then it's a draw and Queensland win. WA have to take risks this round because they've got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
That's exactly right. So playing cagey for every one of the Queensland players is actually a good idea.
Yeah, it's a
Because it opens
sensible
up
strategy.
opportunities for an overextend to pay off in the opposite direction.
Yeah, whereas W have to take risks.
That's right.
And I can say that because, like I say, in 2016, we were in the exact same position playing Queensland in the final round for 1 and 2. And that was the conversation that we as a team had, was the worst we can finish is second, but we have to win this round to win the event, which means you have to go hard and take the chances because there's no point in playing cagey and getting an 11-point win when we need wins. You know, you need to get 4 solid wins plus everyone else do their jobs and not lose 20-0 to win the event. So take risks.
That's a very
Also, just-
Mighty Duck story there.
Absolutely.
the goalie go for the win.
Just as a fact check for yesterday's stream, WA beat Victoria
Last year,
last
didn't
year.
they? Yeah. I went back and had a look at my notes from last year and saw the same thing.
Mate, I'm going to try and take a photo of something. Let's see how this works. We've got a shadow sword drifting. That's awesome. I'll get that
Which
up on the
team,
stream
Vic?
shortly. It's Vic. At the moment I'll put it up in the chat, but I'll pop it up on the stream when I get back to Thingo. Actually, I'll just do it later. Are there any games that people want me to go and look at?
I'd love to hear about Simon's and Lockie's game with the Custodes Drakari.
Yep.
And that tower mirror too as well, please, Steve.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a good one.
Just all the games?
Yeah, just do all the top table. That's what we're here to see.
Yeah. All right. I will get to it then. Just waiting for a pint.
Priorities.
Mate, this is why I wanted you guys on. Thank you very much. All right. Head on back. Okay, so I'm just going to do it in the order that they're near me. So we have Eric and Tom. Tom looks like he is absolutely pantsing Eric. I'm kidding. I actually don't know how the game's going, but I just thought
That'll be a slog, that game.
Yeah. Who knows what that's going on there. The Drakari versus Knights. The Knights are pretty much they're starting to move forward a little bit by the looks of it. Drakari's just sitting at the back of the table.
Yeah, so
Racks are
Mick
starting
can
to
afford to play
engage.
cagey. If he loses that 11-9, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So it looks like both players have been relatively cagey. I see a lot of cagey games this round. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. The Tower. Trying to see what.
The
I'm
question
not
is how many
seeing any
broadsides are left on both sides and how many riptides.
It looks like that was the first broadside. So Rory's got all of his still by the looks of it, and Matt has lost a broadside and 2 drones or something. They're still relatively, early on.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Queensland's list has so many drones because there were 3 squads of them, and then all the Riptide units had them as well. So that's just going to be trading shot for shot for shot until probably turn 3 or 4. On the stream table, we've got Pete's shooting phase from the looks of it.
I can't see what Pete can do if Liam just decides to sit back the whole game. Those Hurricane Bolters just won't do anything unless he moves up, but he can't move up.
No, because as soon as he breaks that cover, and he's in open field, those
just
Meganobs
dies.
drop, and yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what I would do if I was Pete.
He needs to walk south.
Yeah, I agree. If he sort of
He
loops
walks
around
out
the
behind that
table,
building, looters, and then he can take
fact
chunks
is that-
out of things as they come around the building.
but this is turn 2 already. He's already in the shooting phase, turn 2. If he was going to do that, he needed to start that turn 1.
Oh, it's too late. Yeah.
And it's all
Prime
well and
position
good
to be
us saying
charged
that
by
from
the assault that's coming next turn.
yeah. And he's standing on that crater isn't going to save him. Are those it looks like there's scouts at the very top of that crater on the top left-hand corner of the stream's screen. And again, you can use that building there as cover for a Meganob drop to then charge in, kill the scouts, pile into the Centurions.
Just about to make a rules call here, and I'm fairly confident on it. But I've got lads here that can chime on it. So you don't actually need a target to cast psychic power. You can just cast a psychic power. There's no target in range of fluffs.
Yeah,
right?
technically you can because you manifest before you pick a target.
Yep.
Which is dodgy as, but I see Space Wolves players do it a lot to use the -1 to hit strat, where you Stormcaller, I think it's called, where you can successfully manifest a psychic power, and if you do, you can get -1 to hit with everyone within 6.
I still found it.
They they failed the test anyway. It was due
there you
to
go.
the psychic power Malison card. I've just gone blank on the name, but you know the one I'm talking
Oh
about.
yeah, the manifest powers one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it only requires you to manifest. It doesn't require you to successfully resolve, and that's 2 different things.
I believe the deny rules say it fails to manifest, don't it?
Yeah.
If you deny it, yes,
map
but there's
the-
nothing stopping you successfully casting it outside of deny range, and the power manifests, but then you don't resolve it because there's no target.
You can
I see.
you can go. I'm might roll a psychic test. Let's
It
say
goes off.
deny range. It goes off. Oh look, there's no one within range.
So the power manifests. It just doesn't resolve, which is the difference.
Yeah.
It's a bit cheeky, and there are a couple of you like that. That card is a great example of where you might actually try and cast for the sake of casting, or like I say, the Space Wolves do it. I see it fairly regularly to get that -1 to hit aura that they can generate.
Space Wolves can make an incredible MSU army these days.
Yeah, you just have to think about them differently than the way you would have in the past for Space Wolves.
Yeah, I think people have been turned off vehicles from the Shadow Sword spam we saw earlier in 8th edition.
And obviously the Castellans had an impact on that as well.
Yeah, that's certainly true.
I think it's going to be an interesting meta cycle for the next 6 months as people go, all right, there's less things that kill mech. I'm going to take, there's less knights, less super heavies, let's take less anti-mech, focus more on anti-horde. Then those mech choices that just got like Castellan getting hit on points, you go, all right, they're not as efficient now. I'm not going to take them. In a month's time, there's less things that kill them on the table. They become more efficient suddenly.
Look, I reckon things like Wave Serpent spam, mass vehicle is a completely viable option.
Rhinos.
I don't know about that. Drop pods.
I've been saying this for a while now. Rhino's going to make a big comeback.
So there are those. I'm assuming those are tank busters deploying in that building to the bottom of the screen there, Diff.
That's correct.
Yeah. Good luck getting them out of there.
These guys are. You shoot them.
Some very technical 40k going on.
Not bad spirits.
No bad spirits. It's very technical 40k. There's some very specific scenarios. So they're just confirming Auspex scan.
Right, so hold up. Here's the thing. It says,
Hold on.
if you're
Surely too far away to use Auspex scan.
It's 12
inches. Yeah.
So basically, he was trying to work out whether or not he could get models in in that bottom left-hand corner building that were within 12 inches that I was see, and then put models outside the building, outside of 12 inches that could be seen, and whether or not Auspex trigger, and it does.
Okay.
So basically, Auspex scan says if a unit arrives within 12 inches, you can shoot them like it's a shooting phase. So at that point, shoot them like it's a shooting phase.
Yeah, which means that those Centurions all have line of sight and all get to shoot, and away you go.
Exactly. So
then again, there doesn't seem to be that many Centurions left.
He's lost 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can see, I think, 7 or 8 on the stream.
On the top, and then there's 4. So that brings 9. So there's 1 sitting on objective 1 or touching objective 1, and a string back of it to Gilliman.
Okay. So he's basically lost a squad from the shooting phase in turn 2 from Liam.
Yeah. Yeah, as I said, he's lost 5 in total.
And that number's only going to be worse this turn because now you've got Tank Buster shooting as well. No jump this turn either, I notice, because we are straight into the shooting phase now.
Yep. So the tower off, Rory's lost 11 points, and Matt has lost 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8 drones and 3 broadsides.
Ooh. That's a nasty turn of events.
Yeah, someone lose only 8 drones and 3 broadsides.
That must have been a screening issue. Like if Matt's done the deployed it in such a way that you shoot the closest drones and just clear out that Savior Protocol range, it sounds like a deployment issue.
Yeah, it's a critical error right there.
They're playing corners, aren't they? Or
Vanguard?
Vanguard.
Vanguard.
Yeah, can be hard.
Oh yeah, no denying that, and the amount of firepower that Rory puts out would have made Matt's deployment difficult.
Yep. Do you have Savior Protocol? Is that like the Orc one where you have to roll and hand it off, or you just hand it off?
No, it's a 2+ handoff.
I mean, so you could just roll a bunch of 1s.
That's true.
That's awesome.
Because I'm looking.
It's a lot of 1s with 6 wound models with 2+ saves.
I'm looking at the table, and there's the drone string is still there. I'll just ask the question.
And Pete losing more Centurions on the stream at the moment.
Yeah, there was no real call for Liam to jump anywhere. He's already got ball control. He's
ahead on points as well.
Yeah.
Like, this was Liam playing completely cagey, completely safely, and rightly so.
So I'm not sure at what he made the decision, but with all the buffs and stacks that Rory had when shooting, I think from a range perspective, the drones themselves were out of range at a point, but the amount of shots that were going to get put out with all the buffs, he made the decision to just sacrifice those 3 broadsides so as he could keep the drone
for the Riptides.
Okay. Which, because he just would have eaten all the drones.
Interesting choice. We'll see if that pays off. That's a big risk.
Call.
That is a bold move.
But like I said earlier, the WA team have to be willing to take those risks this round.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
If he gambles and it doesn't pay off, he can say,
You'd lose nothing.
Tried.
Yeah. And that's the thing for this game is that, yes, if you can get everyone to win by 11 points, then yes, you win the round. But WA can't afford to do that because as we're watching here with Liam and Pete, Liam can afford to sit there and go, yeah, cool. I'm just going to play this nice and cautious. I don't need to rush. I don't need to risk anything. And, you can just control the whole flow of the game where you're forcing Pete to make more and more risks. And obviously, as the game goes on, those risks get worse and worse and worse and more difficult to pull off.
There's no reason to push for a 20 when a 19 is
No.
still more than enough.
Exactly.
This is all about round points at this stage, right?
Yeah.
If
Yep.
WA can get up on round points by even one, that's
Well,
a tournament.
at this point in time, because they're both 8 apiece, if they draw the rounds, so that the difference is only 10 points, then Queensland win. Because the victory points that they've scored across the weekend are higher than WA's by more than 10. So WA have to actually win the round by 86 points to 74 at least to win the event. If Queensland draw it, Queensland win.
I do love a bit of a nail biter.
So it's there's a few of the guys who are on the WA team who were with me in 2016 when we were in the exact same position. And the conversation we had was just go hard, do whatever you can. And I remember that year, the final game that was playing was Jake O'Grady's AdMech with Knights versus a Khorne, like a Chaos Army. And we needed a 17-3 win to win the event. And all the other results were in. And I was doing the scoring for the whole event at the time as well. And Jake's come up to me and gone, yeah, 17-3. And I've gone, what? You were getting, you got seized on and we're getting smashed. He went, oh, no, 17-3 loss. I went, oh, okay, right, fair enough.
Oh,
So we lost that game. We lost that round. We finished second that year. It's the best finish we've had so far. In exactly the same circumstance where we had to win.
Bit of an update for you guys. So it looks, as I said, it looks like the cow off is going to go in favour, in my opinion. I mean, it's an early game. Going of Queensland, Rory. Simon, though, on the other hand, with his Dark Elder versus Lockie's Custodes, he's going to get smashed. It was a red matchup to begin with. Lockie seized on him and took out 6 boats in the first turn.
Jesus.
6 boats.
Those tanks were just doing numbers on Drakari vehicles, and that's evidence of that.
So, look, if I was Matt with the tower off at this stage, I would go as defensive as possible because you've got a 20, you're going to get a 20 Lockie. So you just need to, save a few points elsewhere.
But there's every chance you're going to give up close to a 20 with the Orc Space Marine matchup at the moment.
Yeah, we are 9 cents down.
And we're losing models hand over fist at this point.
what else has Pete got in his list?
It's basically Scouts, Centurions, and a Thunderfire Cannon.
And
Yeah.
Gilliman.
Well, yeah, and G-Man. But at this point in time, if G-Man walks out and there's no one to screen him, he dies.
Yeah.
Toughness 6, 9 wounds, and 2 up, 3 up only gets you so far. And there's all those looters, all those shock attack guns. At that point, if you're only looking for a wound, you shoot all the shooters on the mega knobs. You've got tank busters there as well. And from the looks of it, Gilliman still stood on objective 6. I can't tell if that is Gilliman. It looks like it is from the base size.
Where at? Hold on.
Objective 6.
In the crater.
In the crater.
Yep.
You use the stratagem.
So with Gilliman stood where he is,
ET said you're not allowed to.
he's not going to have an impact for at least another turn if he wants to try and get to those tank busters.
100%. So Gilliman back sitting in the crater on objective 6.
Yeah. I don't know how Liam loses this.
Nor do I.
Oh, that's the other thing about having 8 players in a team is even if Simon's going to give up a 20 just as easily, Liam could make it up here and it's still kind of draw. Yeah, that's all Queensland need to do, just even it out.
Yeah, if they're gonna give up, like I said earlier, if they give up, they can afford to give up 85 points. Because at 86 points, WA wins. If they give up 85 points, Queensland still wins.
Mm.
Ending in a 20, right?
What was that?
This game here, surely is going to end in a 20.
Well, I mean, the score at the moment's a 9-point swing, so that's like a 15-5. You would assume that this looks like it's Pete's turn 3, I think it is. You would assume that by the end of 5, the difference will be a 17 or an 18 point, 17-3, 18-2 win for the Orcs at worst, because in theory, those Centurions die this in Liam's turn 4. Even with +1 for being in cover, it doesn't matter. And then you can afford to use, you can expend a unit of Mega Knobs for a jump at that point and be reasonably safe.
Imagine a scenario where the Marines aren't tabled. Like there's zero risk for now, right?
I think that the chances of the Marines being tabled are still quite high, but I think it's probably too little too late to try and avoid being tabled, though. You just don't have the screening or the board control left. And it probably needed a decisive southern assault to where those tank busters landed early in the piece, as someone mentioned earlier, to then swing around and go through those buildings to minimize the fire coming in from the looters and the shock attacks. And it just didn't happen, sadly. Liam burnt a whole bunch of CP over the last turn as well. And we're starting to lose looters now because there's obviously not enough grots left.
That would have just been some shots from a unit of scouts, I imagine.
Oh, it could be Centurions as well. I can't see a grot screen left near enough to pop the strat, so...
At this point, the looters have done their job.
Yeah. You're probably actually better off shooting those tank busters, because those rockets are they flat 3 damage on the tank buster rockets, or are they D6s like a crack missile?
A flat 3. Where are the tank busters, though? I can't see any.
They're in the bottom left-hand building.
Oh, they're hidden in there.
In the building, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I'd be
wow,
shooting
but those still alive.
Yeah, I'd be shooting at them first, because they're neg 2.
Yeah,
they
deep struck in turn 3, outside of Auspex range. And basically what he did was he deep struck down outside of 12, and all of the tank, so the bomb squigs, he put them in the open so they could see. He shot the bomb squigs. Bomb squigs die because they're bomb squigs. And then subsequently he can't get shot back. But he still got to shoot, if that makes sense.
Ah.
It was a good move.
Can you see if there's room to deep strike on the far left-hand side of the table between the Centurions and the edge?
Yeah, there's some.
Yeah, with 40 mil bases, maybe.
Where, like, let me get back. I'll get back to the actual PC, and I'll get my little drawings out, and I'll confirm which bit you're talking about. So we should be able to deep strike in that little corner. On the left-hand side, there is a solo tech marine. Up the top left-hand corner, there is a Libby Phobos, what's his face, dude? And then, of course, there's the...
Looks like there's a half a dozen scouts there as well.
Then the sense. Yeah, there's some scouts here, which are kind of protecting that top end. But we can see the Mega Knobs have just come out to play.
Yeah, well, I suppose you don't need to jump them, although you can then jump the second unit.
At this point, you may as well jump the second unit in behind or up there to try and hit Bobby G.
Good old Bobby
all
G.
those little bits.
I feel like Pete having that one Centurion outside of that building is a critical mistake.
On the bottom
From
level?
a cover perspective, do you mean?
Yeah.
He could still be toe in, couldn't he?
Oh, just from a charging blank, there's a whole bunch of problems that one Centurion stood in front of Gilliman presents, because now you can do that direct charge there and just overkill the squad that's hidden in the building.
But you could do that anyway. Isn't it only craters that reduce charge range?
It depends on how the ETC handles, like you said earlier, with the walls.
Oh, true. Yes.
You know, if the ETC says no, you can still charge, then it's largely irrelevant. But if the ETC doesn't say that, then having that one Centurion outside is a huge problem.
True.
But though that looks to me like what, a 5-inch charge, 6-inch charge.
What's the charge?
What does it need to roll?
Could be a 4.
It's a 4. He needs a 4.
Put it +1.
So and then +1, and then within one.
Sorry?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Second.
At this point, if he keeps Gilliman outside of heroic intervention range, he could
That is
command
true.
points left. At least fight twice, kill those Centurions and Gilliman right now.
It looks like he's going to try the jump where we were talking about as well, over on that left-hand flank.
There's no reason not to at this point.
You could almost argue to go north and hit the Centurions and G-Man through objective 1,
Very true.
which would
Yeah,
probably
so-
make it easier charge in a more sensible space. Because that way, if you fail the charge, you've still got a position where you can impact multiple objectives in turn 5. Whereas if you end up on that left flank and fail the charge, then you kind of, it gives the Ultramarines the ability to run away with anything that's left alive.
So we have a bit of karma that's come and bitten Pete a little bit. Liam failed a psychic test, but I didn't hear what the power was. Which one? Oh, the +1 that you're trying to give to the Meganobs. And Pete's like, oh yeah, and you also failed at life. And then he rolls the looters, gets 3 on the D3, says,
Oh, Jesus. And these are bad moon looters, aren't they?
yep.
I am.
Did he spend the strat on them?
Which one, sorry? The, I don't think they're... Not sure. Don't think so. You're talking about the 5s and more DACA?
Yeah.
I don't believe so.
What? G-Man! Oh.
I'm assuming the Ancient is stood beside Gilliman.
What up?
Looking at that? Hard to tell.
Yes, that's correct.
You actually got 2
Yes.
opportunities.
Yeah, that's correct. So a couple, he shot scouts. Yeah, so the looters shot at the scouts. A couple of them died. He then done a couple of wounds. This time he didn't, but so far he's done a few wounds on this. On who? Which one? The war boss has 2 wounds left from scouts, and a lot of that's been from out of sequence shooting.
It's not the end of the world, though, for the Orcs.
Shock attack now shooting at scouts. 6 shots, streak 7. Rerolling 1s because of bad moons.
Opportunity.
2 dead scouts.
Just the one who can shoot me.
What have I missed? There seems to have been no jump.
Yeah.
There was no
There
jump.
we go.
Yeah.
To be clear,
No
there are
jump
more
yet.
scouts that can shoot it.
I suppose that Again, it comes down to just playing conservatively and not giving the extra pile-ins and stuff and potential consolidates if G-Man does decide to go crazy.
Without the command points to fight
Super
twice, that's going pretty crazy to kill 2 squads.
That's true.
This was almost too conservative a choice.
So Super Shock Attack Gun just killed the rest of the unit, I think. Killed the unit?
Yeah, all of my cards. That's why I'm being bought milestone points instead of that.
Yep. So that's all this. Yeah, all the scouts gone.
So it's literally characters and 1 unit of Centurions.
Yeah. So the reason why the Meganov's gone is because all the cards are basically objective 1 and 4, which are the ones
Which are the 2
either
the
side of that
Centurions are stood
building.
on. Yeah.
So he's charging the single lone Centurion round. That's always declared against. So his plan is to go up, kill a Centurion, and just get those 2 objectives and score them.
Yeah, but G-Man's heroic intervention as well. That's an issue.
If he's in range for it. As in, will it get him in? No, I don't think it will.
No. I mean, those Centurions are on 50 mil bases. There's at least an inch between Gilliman and the Centurion.
Yep, and
if Liam stops an inch away...
Have to make a mistake to get heroic here.
Yeah, and I don't see it happening. That 1 Centurion Overwatch just killed Mega Knobs. I'm kidding. No, he has, like, not that it's overly, but Pete has rolled super hot on that one guy's Overwatch. He's just measuring out the
Looked like it was about an 8 or something rolled.
Oh yeah, but what he's done is Liam is currently asking Pete to confirm what the maximum 3-inch move for Gilliman is and what is to not be within. So he's just done the whole, not allowing heroic intervene.
Yeah, so you can't heroically intervene me.
Yeah. Bring the pain train. That one lone Centurion. This massive unit of Mega Knobs comes toward him. And he's like, I got this, boys. Don't worry, other Centurions. Don't worry, Gilliman. I got this.
What are we doing on the other tables, Josh?
That's a good question. I'll go see whether or not Simon's been tabled yet.
Oh,
How's this game going? Simon shook his head. Tower off. Literally looks exact. Oh no, there's. Okay, so now there's more dead drones, but other than that, it's pretty much
just dead drones.
dead drones.
Looks like it's winning.
All the casualties, other than those first 3 broadsides that Matt decided to drop to save the drones. Outside that, everything's dead as drones.
Wow.
Does anyone have a clear advantage in the mission?
Honestly, like they're both. Yes, I would say Matt has the advantage of objective in his deployment zone that he's been on what looks like the whole game, and there are 2 objectives in no man's land. So Rory has 1. So I would say, like right now, as far as casualties are concerned, he's killed more of relevant things. But as points go, I would have to guess that Matt's up on Maelstrom. I'd have to, like, it's a little hard to say, but
I think we're watching the massacre of this Centurion squad.
The bravest Centurion.
It's an awful lot of saves.
Meganovs have got to be one of the
Centurion.
highest damage output in combat units there are.
Probably it's up there.
Oh, it's interesting Liam hasn't taken any of the things that really buff their power. I guess maybe they're high enough as it is.
Why did the other Mega Knobs on top of the building not? Why did the Centurions on top of the building not die then?
Different unit.
He charged the single
okay.
Centurion.
Okay, I thought that was one model from the same squad. Okay, I
No,
got
no, that's what it's like. One model for Overwatch just was never going to do
you. Okay, I got you now. I thought that was one model from the same unit.
Nah.
Okay, that makes more sense.
There's a lot of cagey players going on. Is this still pretty cagey?
It is, but I've got bottom at 3 cards. So 0 cards.
Oh, okay, so he's getting Maelstrom. Yeah, you draw a pair and it's like one is good for you, but you never get it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I know, right? I was hoping that Mel should stay even in that regard.
So it looks like Mick screened off quite well and hasn't given Mitch the opportunity to really get in. And then every time Mitch has drawn good cards, they've been in a pair with a bad card. Obviously, just makes him just a good one. So Mitch is on 0 mouse, Mick 7. Like yeah.
All in on the Eternal War objective, still being able to capture them at the end of the game, it seems.
So Jake's description of his game is that it is a story that you would read in the Death Guard Codex. Like Mortarian's just going beat stick, and he's on 4 wounds left, but he's really just carrying the team, so to speak. Yeah,
that list is full of combos. It doesn't look that great on paper, but when you really start to pay attention to all the overlapping buffs and stuff, it's...
Is that the Queensland Death Guard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've just gone over to Eric's table, and Eric has said Ned's are going to go down. And that's not me joking this time.
Who's he playing against? Sorry, what?
With an Ari.
Planes. There's 4 planes.
Double shooting Reapers.
Yeah. Also, for what it's worth, that list doesn't exist after this weekend. So
No.
if this was the only list that ever beats that Ned list, then
Good nerf.
then
About a month too
good
late.
nerf. Yep. So if my calculations are correct, Liam's going to get a big win. Which is going to get cancelled out by Simon's 0. I think Rory is damage-wise ahead, but it could be a close game. Jake looks like he's so Eric looks like he's having a rough match. So it's still pretty damn close. I think it's down to Gowan playing Death Watch list versus Benjamin and his GSC, and then Luke Pierce the Ascent Repulsor list versus Dom's BA whatever.
Guard Army, yeah.
New Guard Army. So look, couple of close games, couple of blowouts, but it's going to be tight. It's too close for me to call. Which is what we want to see.
Does Simon have his camera out recording the game still?
No.
Oh, that's a shame.
That's a shame, yeah. It's sensible because obviously you want to concentrate on what you're doing, but at the same time, it is a shame for the rest of us.
Oh, he still whipped it out at ETC.
Did he?
Shopping,
I remember seeing it on
in
the trash.
shopping trolley.
Yeah.
The shopping trolley.
few more Mega Knobs dying there.
Shooting Centurions up high. Yeah. So 4 Centurions shooting into Mega Knobs. There is 5 Mega Knobs left. Yeah.
We should think that Gilliman can probably handle that. The problem with doing that with Gilliman is it's going to put him at the front of the army.
You can't at the moment.
What do you mean?
Well, we're in the shooting phase. And
Yeah, but I mean,
charge.
between Gilliman shooting and then charging, he's probably able to wipe that squad, but I don't know that that's a great call because that puts Gilliman as the closest.
He hasn't put him in a position that he could charge.
The Mega Knobs.
Yeah.
They're
Well, he's got
inside
line of
the
sight.
building, aren't they?
Yeah. He's a
So
monster. Infantry, right?
Yeah, but there's models outside of the building.
But a long way.
What, 7-inch charge?
Yeah, that's a 7 or 8.
If he was planning on doing that, surely he would have come up, right?
Well, he couldn't have at the time because there were Mega Knobs in the way.
Oh, fair.
And Liam's just been sensible and removed the ones closest, which means that if he does choose to charge with Gilliman, then he ends up being the closest, which means that the looters, the shock attack guns, all the other guns get to shoot at him for free.
Tough being a Primarch, you're not allowed inside.
It's like the no homers.
Yeah.
I feel like not jumping those Mega Knobs before, at least into the building closer.
It would have helped the pressure. If you'd had 10 more Mega Knobs stood near Objective 1 or Objective 6, then that would have been a real problem.
The reason why they're keeping so
No, if it's just me, but that was just...
I did not hear a thing.
No, likewise.
You're too far away from the computer, Josh.
I'm nowhere near the computer. Anyway.
Yeah, there we go.
No, the mic's right next to me. Anyway, so he traded the kill. He'll trade the kill point because he killed the lone Centurion.
Yeah.
But then he gained 3 victory points for Maelstrom. So that's a net 3. So looks like Adam Camilleri has got another 20-point win. So he'll come and probably take over at the computer and give me a little bit of a break to walk around a bit.
Go Tau.
Yeah, Tau scum. Mate, he's done well.
Well, that's 5 for 5 wins wise, isn't it, for Camilleri?
Yeah, I believe that's 5 wins.
Oh, I should have gave him one of my spare Tau t-shirts. Still got them here.
What's that? Haters gonna hate, Tau's gonna Tau.
That's it. Still got heaps.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah, Tau got nerfed into the ground, and then they got buffed up, and now no one knows anymore. It's just not sick dead anymore.
It could be if they wanted it to. Broadsides are good enough.
Mate, broadsides are doing well.
Broadsides are sickening. When you really start comparing what they do against strategies to try and fight them, like things like charging. The amount of damage they do on Overwatch is flabbergasting.
The word flabbergasting really doesn't get used enough.
One of the great words.
Yep. And I'm back from outer space. No, that's right. I'm done. Yes, so as far as the results are concerned, I'm just going to have a quick look to see if anyone... Literally not a single player has entered a score into the round yet, so 0 predictions from other games. I just had Jake have a look, a wry smile.
Oh, Girly Man looks like he made that charge.
Mate, Gilliman loves killing him some Mega Knobs.
And yeah, I think he's doing that right now.
Oh, yeah.
All the objectives on the table counting for end of game 3-pointers, or
This mission, I will confirm for you. Mission 5.
Isn't it progressive?
Mission 5 is all 6 markers. And scoring, starting from the second battle round and at the start of their turn, players score 1 victory point if they control both objective markers in their deployment zone, 2 victory points if they control both objectives in no man's land, and 3 victory points if they control both objectives in the enemy deployment zone. At the end of the game, every objective you control earns you 2 victory points.
okay, so there's still a lot of points left on the table to be gained. Who owns objective 3? Are they orcs up there?
Yeah, orcs up
Yeah,
top
they are.
right-hand corner. So I would say, to date, they've both been. If I look at Eternal War, wise, we've got 4 points. 1 second, I've just been asked a question. I'll be back.
I just saw Pete's kill count tick up by 1, so I think Girly Man wiped that Mega
Yeah.
Knob squad.
There was only like 3 left anyway, and they probably would have died to morale, to be fair.
What turn are
although
we
he does
sitting
still,
on?
he does still have an. I think that was bottom of 4.
Turn counter on the screen isn't updated.
Yeah, they're at least turn 4 now.
Well, those orcs made the charge in turn 4 because they didn't jump in turn 3.
That's right.
You can't Auspex... Oh, currently, I should rephrase that. You can't Auspex scan a character that's not the closest, can you? You can Overwatch, but you can't Auspex scan, as if it was the shooting phase.
I believe it says shoot as if it's the shooting phase, doesn't it?
Which means you wouldn't be able to shoot them. If they're not the closest.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
That's how I ruled.
Hang on, for a character, you mean?
Yeah.
There's an FAQ on that, and it's a standard FAQ that was there prior to the updates.
Oh, I asked them to check the FAQ.
There is one on,
GW FAQ?
yeah, one of the GW FAQs talks about. Are you talking about Overwatch or Auspex?
Auspex specifically.
I know that there was an FAQ about it.
I know there's an FAQ saying you can Overwatch a character that is not the closest.
I
Sorry.
think there's actually a question that says, can I Auspex scan them if they're the closest? And which I think the answer was yes.
Alright, chat. We have 28 viewers. One of you has to have played Auspex scan list.
Just so I'm clear, what is the question here? Can you
The question
Auspex
is,
scan a character that isn't the closest?
Yes. That is the question.
It's the contention for why it would be allowed to.
Yeah, I said you would need a rule that said you could. The reason why you can't is because the rules say you can't target a unit in the shooting phase. I can't target a character in the shooting phase unless it's the closest model. And
Maybe getting confused with the new FAQ that says that stratagems that are triggered to be used in the shooting phase work in the shooting phase.
Yep, which would be the same result.
It would be the same result. I'm saying they may be getting confused because otherwise there's no reason why anyone would think that you could.
Yeah. All right, we've got a jump. Jump it, dun 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 dun. Jump it, do 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 do.
And is that Girly Man closest model now for like the looters?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
And shock attack guns as well. Is that right?
Oh,
yeah,
dear.
the Mega Shock Attack gun.
At this stage, I believe there is a Tech Marine up the top left-hand corner sitting on Objective 6. I'm not sure where his Libby's gone.
He's in the building.
In the
Yeah.
building? Okay. And Banner looks like he's on top of the building, maybe? Because there's a Libyan Habana back there somewhere. But yes, I would say Gilliman surely has to go down to that just all that orc firepower.
You never know with
Don't
Pete.
count on it.
Mate,
2+ save, 3+ invulnerable save, the ability to stand up, 9 wounds.
no, yeah, sure, I agree. But like 2-up save, depending on if
You're better off just saying it's a 3-up invulnerable because that's what it'll be.
Yeah.
well, no, but all right. So looters,
Neg 1.
neg 1, yeah, fair.
The combi shooters and anything, any spare
Check it where he's
firepower.
putting those mega knobs. He's decided to put them up there, up the top instead.
Wow. Must be counts as on the bottom.
All right. Yeah, Eric's changed his tune a little bit. He's gone from "I'm getting boned," "Nids are dead" to "I said, how's it going?" He goes, "Oh, it's pretty hard," which is him saying, "No, I've got it now." With 5 CP left, what have we got going on?
Well, if that's still accurate, Liam hasn't used any command points since turn
CP's
2.
just been
there
updated.
it goes.
So he's just gone. That was his shock attack gun. It would have been the not the super one, the other one. I've gone blank.
Not the relic.
Not the relic. It's the. Bring up Liam's list. It is the Blood Axe one. He always shoots the Blood Axe one first.
Any particular reason for that, or
I don't know. He said it earlier.
have it?
I don't think it realistically makes a difference.
No.
But in this scenario, anyway. All right. Got a few dice coming in now. Not a huge number. Trying to work out what that would be. The Super Shock attack gun? What's that? 2d6 shots?
Yeah. Or is it? No, it's not 4D. Must be.
He's rolling one at a time. 3 wounds. I'm trying to get their attention because they're a long way away. I think he may have passed those all. You are right. Never. 3-up invulns, mate. 3-up invulns.
Really do never know.
Pete's Gilliman just doesn't die. He's notorious for it with G-Man. Everything else around G-Man falls like wheat, and then G-Man's the iron bar that was holding the fence up.
Saying before the when you were talking about the homunculus covens game,
Yep.
saying you just basically halve the number of shots that you've got, and that's effectively the same as having the 4+ invuln. It's really not. The variance, little bits of variance when it comes to invulnerable saves like that can cause huge changes in your ability to make meaningful progress in the game.
Thank you very much, Dark Azrael, that just did the copy-paste of the Space Marine or the Auspex scan strats, and there's nothing to say that you can shoot characters, so it was ruled correctly. Yeah, and the main FAQ says restrictions on targeting characters apply for stratagems that allow shooting as if it were the shooting phase, even if the stratagem is used in the movement phase.
I see Pete doing the Dan Gilmore single dice rolling. You'll never kill him that way.
Mate,
Should
exactly.
be illegal.
It should be illegal.
Should be illegal.
Where's my beer? Jeez.
You drank it. Get another
These
one.
days, it's almost compulsory with the way that the rules are written.
Fair.
That
That's
is
actually
true.
fair.
Fast dice rule is actually used far more often than it should be. You can't really play a game like that.
Ah,
That's,
hi Ross.
See, this is the risk I was talking about. Left Gilliman alive, who can go in and gank all those Mega Knobs.
Mm.
He really needed to press harder. Turn 3. Is it turn 3 or turn 4 he charged with the first Mega Knobs?
Turn 4.
Turn 4.
Turn 4, yeah. Mega Knobs he's playing with now in the building the first set we're in. So that he could now then just like run forward and hit Gilliman and then fight twice, killing the Centurions as well.
Rules question. I love rules questions.
Just on the Auspex scan, there is a reference specifically to it in the main rulebook FAQ.
Yes, and I believe that's the one that Item Finder Deluxe brought up in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew I'd seen it in there, and it's in black, so it's actually been there a little while. It's
Yeah,
not an
I'd also
updated
like to state that not all colours are actually new. There are some rules that they do actually put in and forget to make them pink.
Yeah, that's true. But no,
But
I
that's
knew
correct.
that was.
That has been there a while.
Yeah.
Ross, the NZ lads are not doing that great.
No, they've had a couple of like tiny losses,
Yeah.
which has been a shame.
Yeah, they've had. So basically, they won their first round. The second round, they got absolutely poleaxed by Queensland, and then the next round, they got a 74-point loss, the largest loss you can get. That isn't the largest loss you can
75's
get.
a draw.
75's a
Yeah.
draw. So that's rough. That's rough right there. And then they got a 64 in round 4. And this round they are playing. I'd have to double check. I think they're playing South Australia.
They should win that round. South Australia haven't exactly had the greatest weekend.
Sorry, New Zealand are playing New South Wales.
Oh, that'll be close.
Go Liam. Liam's absolutely killing it. You are 100% accurate, Fire Drake. I cannot see a situation where Liam doesn't end up with a perfect 100.
Well, Liam's Maelstrom scores all just oh, there we go. It's back again now.
Have we got any updates on the other tables, Josh?
No.
Direct and to the point there. Well done.
Simon and Lockie don't appear to be at their table anymore.
Doesn't bode well.
Simon's been
Simon.
tabled, so there you go. There's a score. All the other tables look relatively serious business.
Yeah, looking at Down Under Pairings, Lockie won 40 victory points to 1.
Oh,
That's rough,
Huh.
mate.
Not often that Simon must lose like that. He's usually able to scrape something.
Those Custodes flyers, to be fair, it's probably the tanks in the case with Simon because those tanks are brutal. But those Custodes flyers are so underpointed for what they are. They're basically a double Gatling flying knight with -1 to hit.
Wow, that's sickening. I haven't even looked at them.
They are horrific. 448 points, 22 wounds, toughness 8, 3 up, 5 up, and the firepower they pack is essentially 2 Gatling guns, but they hit on 2s. So yeah, you basically just think of them as flying double Gatling Knights, and you can't go too far wrong.
Mate, double Gatling Knights.
Good afternoon, gents. How are we doing?
Oh, is that Mr. JB painting himself?
It's me. Hey, how's it going this afternoon?
It's been going well. We've had the lovely Mike Bask and the Paddle Pop Poodle himself joining in, as well as Nick Kelly.
Fantastic. So I've just jumped on, and this game looks pretty decisive.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, that's a fair description.
Orcs.
Even if Gilliman goes like berserk and just goes and kills all those mega knobs, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. The game for this pod is basically over.
Yep.
That's something that you could get for Twitch there, Josh.
What?
Get orcs and an emote for chat where it's the finger pointing down on the table. Orcs.
Orcs.
Yeah, just orc.
So is this currently going to look like a battle for second place? I think first is pretty decided.
No. WA and Queensland are both tied.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But because of the way the victory points have been scored, WA need to beat Queensland to finish first. If they draw, Queensland win.
Okay.
So, yeah, Queensland, playing conservatively, should win the event.
Yep.
If WA go hardcore balls out and try some risky stuff and it pays off, then they win the round.
Cool. So it's still going to come down to the line, which is always a good event.
Yeah, it is. There's more Megan I was coming off there from, I'm assuming, Centurion gunfire.
Possibly. Doesn't Simon have like 30 units? He has a few, but they
Those
lost-
Calidus tanks are
Yeah.
horrific.
Just to put it into perspective, he lost 6 of his boats turn 1. That's brutal.
Must have taken some pretty bad dice for that to happen, because the 3
No.
damage Lastrom bolt guns are meeting up against
5 up invul.
Pain.
It's
And
only
5 up
6
invul.
up for no pain.
Yeah, so it's not uncommon for it to require 5 failed saves to kill a tank.
Yeah, but I mean, when you actually look at how many like guns that Custodes army puts out, despite what it appears.
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking 60 wounds worth of failed saves on those boats. I'm sure it's possible, but
Well,
yeah,
it's
I'd be
certainly
surprised if that was
possible
average.
because it happened. Like, it did just happen to him.
You've also got to take into account what the Orion puts out. I don't know if you've actually looked at its, like the PDF for it.
Oh, I haven't. Not that this is the flyer.
Yeah, okay. So I'll bring it up. I've actually got it here because it's a unit that I actually had to face off against at a tournament. I did beat this list. It was only an 11-9 win for me, but it was a win nonetheless, which I'll take. Okay, so the PDF, which you can download from Forge World's website right now. The Orion dropship, 22 wounds, toughness 8, 2 up ballistic skill, 3 up armor, 5 up invul, and then it mounts 2 Arcanus heavy blaze cannons, which are normally fired in burst mode, which are heavy 6 each, strength 7, neg 2, 1 damage. Or you can fire them at 36 inches heavy 1, strength 9, neg 4, 3 damage, and reroll to wound versus vehicles.
So
It's then got 2 twin Lastrom bolt cannons, which are both heavy 6, strength 6, neg 2, 1 damage. And then it's got 2 heavy bolt launchers, which are both heavy 3, strength 7, neg 1, 2 damage. So all told, if it wants to, it puts out 6, 12, 24... it puts out 30 shots a turn.
And that's quite a lot.
Hitting on 2s, all of which is at least neg 1. Actually, the majority of it's at neg 2. And then
Ballistic
it's
skill
all...
2 as well makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then he'll have reroll ones in that as well.
George in the chat says, yeah, it's like 30 shots at around strength 6 to 8 on a T8 24 wound flyer.
Is there any chance we can get Simon on the stream, Diff, considering he's finished early? I'd love to hear whether it was a case of he didn't know what the model did, and so he
No,
deployed
it was a
probably-
horrible. He said it was a red matchup, and it was.
Okay.
He would have known.
He knew it was a bad matchup. He also got seized on. Like,
Well, those
possible scenario.
Caladius grav tanks, they've got what's that?
I think-
The accelerator cannon or whatever
Yeah,
it
it's
is on them too.
so he's got 8 shots at strength 8, neg 3, d3,
Yeah, those will punch holes into them too.
and again hitting on 2s.
And they've got. Well, is it? The twin makes it 8 shots, so they're 4 shots each, and they got 2 of them, or is
Well,
it?
it's a single stat profile, which is a twin.
Which is now a twin.
accelerator
Which is,
cannon, so it's heavy 8.
Yeah.
It also still packs the twin Lasstrom bolt cannon as well, so it actually puts out another 6 shots at strength 6, neg 2, 1
Oh
damage.
yeah.
So it's putting out 14 shots of vehicle. So you got 14 times 3. So you got what's that? 42 shots from the 3 tanks,
it's a
and then
few.
another 60 shots from the 2 Orions. Like
Yeah.
you're over 100 shots at this point, and that's not taking into account anything else. Not that there is much else, but you know.
Say I didn't expect to see a mech custodes list.
It's one that he's been touting here in WA for a little while now, and when
He
we were
likes
first
it.
talking about it, it was brutal. And
So
having
for-
faced it firsthand, yeah.
So for those that wanted to see that, just while we're chatting a bit, that is the Shadow Sword drifting.
Yeah, I just got that picture from your diff, and I choked into my drink. So yeah, that's quite a sight.
Yep, quality.
Yeah, looking at the chat, Fire Drake says they're only 210 points, hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s, rerolling 1s from Transgen with a 60 range. They are, for 210 points, are so good it's not funny. They're probably 100 points too cheap.
The Caladius. Yeah.
And to be fair, the Orions at 448 probably need to be more like 558 or 600. Like they're a
the
good 100
equivalent
points
of a
underpriced. as well.
flying knight. Yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with you.
Well, now that we've seen a drop in the rotate ion shields, is it rotate ion? Yeah, rotate ion shields for knights. It's going to be a pretty significant shift in the meta, I think, because guns like las cannons for quite a long time have been really bad because the AP is wasted
been
on the
relevant.
most important vehicles.
Yeah.
We're going to see I fair to say, I think a pretty substantial drop in the quality of the Imperial Knight Armies. Las cannons might be good again.
Yep.
So just looking at the chat, Fire Drake, I'm about 30 seconds behind what I can see on the screen, so I'm saying stuff and then it's obviously being repeated in the chat by George. Yeah, that's the disconnect there, mate.
However, what we can see on the screen is a complete lack of mega knobs.
Yeah.
They all seem to be toast.
Yeah, this is that situation I was worried about.
Yeah,
Too
but there's a
late,
20.
though.
Nothing left to jump, and
Doesn't matter.
Peter's sitting there with an army that's probably not going to get tabled. And
He is up
3
by
Eternal
21
War
points.
objectives.
It's
Yeah,
not
true.
relevant. Yeah, it doesn't need to be
Well.
tabled at this stage.
Pete, look, depending on Gilliman,
Oh, there goes the last Centurion.
yeah. So I'll head over there in a second. Hopefully my
So we've got an ancient, a librarian, a tech marine, and Gilliman.
Not enough.
No,
there's still
well, it means
some
it's-
mega knobs.
Are there still some in the building? Are there?
Yep, they've just come up.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So that's now a dead ancient. Is the librarian in the building dead?
I think it might be. Because he took the lid off a little bit earlier and I didn't see anything in there.
Well, I can see it's obviously skewed now, so it's not been put back on when it has been removed.
But I don't remember seeing the librarian when that first unit of Mega Knobs died, so maybe he caught it pretty early.
It was definitely in there when that first unit of Meganobs got charged by Gilliman.
Heading over.
I think that's the ancient fighting as he dies. Yes, it was. Yeah, okay, so the librarian probably got cactused by that second unit of Meganobs because
Yeah,
they've just gone down into the building to hide from Gilliman. Can't charge what's inside a doorway.
That's such a funny rule that Gulliman can't go inside the building. I mean, if he felt like it, he could punch a door.
Yeah,
inside
yeah.
and just
I have so many issues with the enclosed building rules that people have jerry-rigged into the game.
One of the things that we were talking about yesterday, Mike, was I don't remember ever playing with enclosed building rules over like 8 years of playing
No.
tournament. We just
No.
always ignored them, regardless
They
of
were just-
what kind of bunker we had.
Yeah, they were just solid line of sight blocking things. And to be
Yeah.
honest, treating them like that, which is what I do for our events here in WA, is you can't enter them. They are, for all intents and purposes, a hill you can climb up.
Is it the enclosed building rules, or is that just terrain like
there's-
ruin rules?
There's no enclosed building rules in the game.
And Adam has entered the game.
Hello, my babes. How we doing, boys?
I'm so
Man.
proud of you, Towboy.
Yeah, well done, man.
It is absolute filth, absolute skullduggery filth, and it has performed very, very well. Like, erroneously, obnoxiously well. Okay,
I'm so happy.
what are we joining in here? It doesn't look like much going on here.
No, Liam's just mopping up. Pete,
Yes, that was not a good game for Pete, I do not believe, especially on this table, man, of all
No.
tables.
super bad.
26-point difference at the moment.
But look,
Yeah, 19 or more, it's a 20-0.
Yeah.
And there's no way Pete's recovering this at
Nah.
this stage.
he's just playing for a bit of pride. He wants Gilman to go take some scalps. Who we got in this? We've got, hello, George. We just had a handshake. That'll be all she wrote. We're going to stick with this, though, until we...
rolled another turn and ended.
Sorry, Josh, what's up?
They rolled to see if it would go another turn, and it didn't.
It didn't.
So that's
There we go.
a 20-0 for Liam.
We're currently looking at Lachlan got a 20 above Simon, and now Liam has a 20 above Pete. So
So,
They'll
it's
net
a
zero.
dead tie for the results that are in so far.
What's interesting as well is that means Liam is one of very few players to ever go 100 for 100 at an ETC.
Yep, good on him.
very correct.
It's also worth pointing out is 100 from 100 with actual, like, in a strong list, strong team.
Yeah.
He just got protected into greens, man. Don't give him any props.
Regardless of that, 100 out of 100.
It's a phenomenal achievement.
Good on
Absolutely.
him.
A phenomenal
Mate.
achievement.
Yeah, all the
yeah.
commentators will say, well done, 100 from 100, I believe.
So
Unlucky, mate. Wasn't a great matchup.
so I'm guessing I've got to assume Liam got to pick the table, and he's like, I want to beat Pete on stream again because that is the perfect table.
No.
For
No. Oh, yeah, Liam was the put-up.
yeah,
Liam picked
there's the
the table.
perfect table
Liam
for
picked the
fucking
table.
over Centurions. Like you couldn't make it better. And with Vanguard as well. Look at you can just block line of sight wherever the hell you want.
Well, you said at the
No,
start of
if
the
I
stream, there's two
necessarily
buildings
agree
that have...
with that assessment, to be honest. Like,
Well,
those buildings allow for really good quality bubbling off that for scouts that can't be shot.
The problem is those
from being able
buildings-
to just sit on those three objectives up the top. I think if
Well, those
Peter played
buildings were also-
differently, it could have been a totally different game.
Yeah.
If you look at the stream from yesterday, those buildings have been moved for today.
Yep.
Like at some point, they're in the wrong... They weren't like they were yesterday, which
Only a
changes...
little.
Did they play on this table as it is as you see it right now?
So that
Yep.
big building
Yes.
in the bottom left has been moved because Liam's put his dice tray and everything where the building was.
Ah, okay.
But that top building above Objective 1 is actually where it was,
Okay.
which wasn't where it was yesterday.
So what
I don't- that had
The
zero
building on the
impact
left
game.
in the middle had moved a bit as well from yesterday.
Yeah.
The location of the terrain had zero impact.
No, I agree.
Zero impact.
I'm not sure there's much Pete could have done to win that game because the shock attack guns just pick up Centurions. The looters actually don't do too badly. Eventually you get some through, and then the Mega Knobs. Centurions are not great at killing Mega Knobs.
The shock
It was-
attack gun knocked off the Thunderfire cannon first turn there.
Yeah.
That's because you can't
Straight
afford to have Mega Knobs which are halving their charges.
Yeah.
So
The interesting thing with Liam, though, that first few turns, even like all the shock attack guns, they were shooting the scouts. Like, he just put everything into the scouts.
So he didn't want because he's worried about getting sniped. Didn't want to
I don't
lose
think
his
it was I think he wanted to get rid of OBSEC. I think he just wanted to get rid of the screens.
just get board dominance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with the way this is mapped out, having to hold multiple objectives to get better points, and knowing that Pete's always going to blob up around Gilliman, taking away the scouts is actually pretty key because it denies him the objective to realistically hold more than one objective a turn. Especially, I'm guessing these objectives have moved. God knows these objectives must have moved.
No, they were right.
Really?
No, that's it.
That's where they are.
Yep.
Wow, that's some fuckery right there. Yeah, it's okay. Cool.
That's some fucking
That's some fuckery right there. Bask, how G'd are you right now? How like fucking ooh are you right now?
I'm having flashbacks from 2016.
Oh. What were you guys playing for the top spot 2016 as well?
Yeah, we literally same scenario. We were playing Queensland in the final round in 2016 for first and second.
Wow. And
we had to beat Queensland to win. If they drew, then it was a Queensland win, which is exactly what we've got here.
Phenomenal.
And of course, we didn't quite make it over the line. We were short. We needed a 17-3 in the final game to win the event. That got us to 86 points.
Yep.
And we did have the result 17-3. It was just that we only got the 3.
Nice.
So we finished second that year. That's the best that WA's ever finished up until today.
Well, today I think is going to be, well, no matter what, both these teams can go home pretty proud of their achievements.
Absolutely.
They've got absolute superstars in every team. These guys have obviously done pairing. They've done their prep. They've done the hard work and the hard yards before they've gotten here, which is exactly what you need to do to win team events. You need to put in the work before you come to the table.
Yeah. Oh, look, and I think the results, like if you look at Queensland's run through the event to this round, this is the only round that they've really sort of been pushed, it feels like. They've had some really good results each round. And I know how much work went into the WA team to get here. So
George, no, it's not a foregone conclusion yet. This game is still this round is still very much up in the air. This podium is all to play for, all up for grabs. I wish we could just pick up the rig and move it onto another table, because there are some goddamn intense games here. That are going to decide how this ends, and we're not going to be able to see them, unfortunately. We're going to have to get Div to keep us with the upkeep on the pivotal games.
I've got the WA chat in the background here for me as well. So from the sounds of it, the Tau game, Tau v Tau, looks like it'll go Queensland's way. From the WA chat I've got, it looks like the team's plan went sideways for that game.
So I can tell you what happened there. I was having a chat with the WA coach before, and he said we got stuffed because we didn't know they were playing with the ETC FAQ. So pre-ETC FAQ, what he was planning to do was he's going to fly over a Cold Star Commander and then use the 6-inch move after you shoot to walk into combat and tag 2 units of broadsides without getting overwatched. It's a really, really strong play, but it's a bit of a loophole.
Of course, the Cold Star Commanders are amazing, aren't they?
They're phenomenal. The ETC FAQ closed that loophole, and they were unaware. So they built their strategy around pairing into that under the assumption he could do that. Turns out he couldn't, and I think that's what's going to lose in the game.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Over here we play that raw because there's actually 2 interactions in that codex that allow you to do that.
Yeah, there's 2 that lets you do it. So it's there's even a precedent.
One of them says
there's even a precedent set saying you can do it. But
and the Imperial Guard can do it as well with Scout Sentinels. There's a strat that lets them do it as well.
Yep.
And it's only because it doesn't say as if it was the movement phase. It just says move 6 inches.
Yeah, move 6 inches. So it means you can go within the 1-inch control zones.
Yep.
So look, that's going to end up being pretty poor for him because he's just like essentially pissing in the wind in front of nine broadsides, so he's just going to get pounded essentially. So it just depends on what that ends up being. That could be really critical if he can still pull a couple of points out of that. But if he gets tabled 20'd.
The problem is at this stage they've got 6 games to play, and Queensland can give up 65 points and still win this event.
Yeah. So WA.
If Rory wins that. Mick versus Mitch with the Knights versus Drakari. From the sounds of it, when Diffie went past last time, it was a cagey game.
Yeah. Look, on this mission with that army, this is very much something that the Drakari can win.
I can easily see this round going to a draw, to be honest, because
if this goes to a draw, that means Queensland wins.
Queensland win. Yeah.
Oof.
WA have to win the round.
Yeah. And so.
It's a hard one to swallow, but based on the information I've got, when you look at the team leaderboard, Queensland are up by 25 points.
Yep.
At the moment, which is a net, a draw of 10-point swing. If WA finishes with 85 points, that 10-point swing doesn't push them to first on battle points. So yeah, WA has to win the round.
Nice. All right. Oh, we need to get Diffie around to get some updates because there's, he's judging. He's walking from each table and he's just getting called in to judge stuff everywhere he's going. There's a lot up for grabs here, and everyone's trying to gain advantage. And not in any malicious or undue means, but everyone's just looking for that edge in their games.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you got the scores up, Bas? Can you have a look at how the rest of the field's doing? How are the other rounds tracking?
Well, when we went looking last time, there were very few of them that had even put the bloody round matchups in, let alone
I had to go
scoring.
I had to go and put my teams in. Sloppy bastards.
So Vic versus ACT. At the moment, Vic have 220-0 wins and a 9-11 loss.
Yep.
With 5 games still in play.
Who was the 9-11 loss?
The 9-11 loss is Daniel Martin versus Matt Morrisoli.
So anybody out there who plays Matt goddamn Morrisoli, if he starts telling you he's going to lose and you're going to get a small win off him, turn 3, that means he thinks he's going to win and you're going to get a small loss. He does that to everyone. Does to fucking everyone, guys. He did that to Dan. He said, Dan, I'm pretty sure you got. I walked past and I asked Dan, he's doing it. He's like, and Morrisoli's like, he's got this, man. He's gonna beat me. It's not gonna be a huge one, but he does this thing. It's just smoke and mirrors, guys. He's got like 2 big players left in his pocket, and either of them go off, he's gonna get a win. And that's exactly what happened there.
It looks like Johnny Seymour pulled his first win of the weekend as well.
No, so I think it's his second win, but it's his first 20.
So you got the Merc team 40 points to 0 versus South Australia.
So what's up, Diff?
So Morrisoli got an 11-9, and so far it's 40 something.
To 11.
49 to 11.
Yeah.
The 11 points so far are from him.
Yes. So has Matt won all his games? Did he earn his?
No, he lost the last round.
To the tower, yeah. He just didn't earn his money, guys. Just didn't earn his money.
So it looks like we're going to see the Mercs get up over South Australia pretty convincingly, and New South Wales are in a dominant position over New Zealand at the moment.
There you go. Well, I think South Australia's got to go away and do a bit of work, do a bit of work on their side, because we paired against them last round, and it was easy to tell the people who'd done a bit more prep than the others. There was a bit of a disparity there. Matt Mindfuckery Morrisoli, I do not mind that nickname. I think it's pretty good. And just Fire Drake Mindfucker Soli. I think that's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. Mindfucker Soli. I like it. Do you want to sit? You want to stand? Oh, yes. More Adam. I look. The bigger the picture, the more handsome I look.
Yeah, you can go with that.
Yeah, I'm going to take it, boys. No one's here to disagree, and you're not allowed to say anything.
Why? Because I'm going to let you keep chatting, and I'm going to go start packing up.
Oh, nice. Yeah, well, it's fair. That's totally fair. So you know what? I'm going to grab the coach, the WA coach, next time I see him. I'm going to get him to start doing just a bit of roaming for us, give him some updates of how his games are going. Send him my way send him my way if you see him, Diff. Send him my way if you see him. Who better to get perspective on it? He's been walking around. He was the guy who cooked up that strategy. So that tower game, he's the one who cooked up that strategy to win it by pinning the broadsides. So it might be on his head that he didn't have the knowledge that it wasn't a play, because that was their whole play, was to stop 2 of the broadside units from shooting. He had 3. You can see the shirt. You can read it now. My name's big enough. It does say Sperm Lord, George. And if I ever see you, you can buy me a drink. Non-alcoholic, I don't drink. You can buy me a soda of some kind, and I'll tell you the story of how I got that name. But it's not fit for this forum.
Yeah, it's pretty disturbing.
Yeah, it's a hell of a tale, man. All right, so the big matchups that we have left, we have Jake O'Grady versus Ben. What's Ben's name from Queensland? What's Ben's surname?
Warrior.
Ben Warrior, that's right. Did he pick that surname? Did you just make that up?
No, that's just what it says on Down Under Pairings.
Okay.
I think the last update we heard was that Mortarian had just gone bonkers and was murdering the Mechanicum.
Let's have a quick stand up and have a gaze. So his Castellan's still there. So Jake's Castellan. We've got 1 DP.
What do you want to know?
I'm just looking at Jake's matchup. It looks like Morty's down. He's got 1 DP left, but the Castellan's still there.
1 DP, 2 plague burst crawls. Sorry, 2 DPs still left.
So 2 DPs.
Ironman and
any ideas what the scores are, Diff? If they're willing to tell you, without being too intrusive.
What are the scores? No idea.
Oh well, you guys suck. What can we do with such reckless negligence?
3 cards for there.
We've got to get this to refocus. There we go.
Well, I know Eric was not happy with his game with Tom, but whether or not that was Eric's not happy of I'm not going to win 20-0 or Eric's not happy because he was actually going to lose a game, I think the consensus was he was likely to lose that game.
Eric just gave me a signal. He's just going, he doesn't know how this is going to go. He could go down.
No, that means he's won the game.
That usually means... usually, yeah. It's pretty safe he's won, but you can never tell. He always likes to play it down.
See, I reckon, I'll call it now. I reckon this round is going to end in a draw for the two teams. Would be my bet.
Bold prediction, man.
Which means a Queensland win. But based on the information that we've been given so far, it looks like Rory will get up over Matt. And assuming that we get a loss out of Eric with Tom, from the sounds of it, Mick and Mitch is going to drag out to a stalemate. I haven't heard anything about the Shadow Sword v
Deathwatch.
It's basically guard and Astartes versus guard and Astartes.
Yes, yeah. So I actually had a little chat with Luke before, and he said the matchup wasn't good for him, because he gets outranged by the Macarius Vulcan. And the vultures can start out of range of him as well, so he has to pretty much bunker down for 2 turns, and hopefully he actually goes first, so he only has to 1 turn of shooting before the vultures have to fly over or stay in hover. So I don't know how that's going to go for him.
Yeah, but look, I mean, Queensland only need what is it? They've got 6 games in play.
Yeah,
and they need 55 points from 6 games.
It's so 120 there, any 20 in there, and it becomes an almost foregone conclusion that they're going to win the round. So pretty much WA has got to keep...
Sorry, 55 is a draw. If they get 55 points from here, it's a draw.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. I thought you said 55 was a win.
Which wins them the round. So
yeah, which wins them the event.
Yeah. So as soon as say for example that game with Rory and Matt goes to like an 18-2, 17-3 win for them. If all the others hold on to minor wins or minor losses, then that's the round.
Jared, you still here? Jared? We lost Jared? That's sad, but fair enough.
Yeah, we did lose Jared.
Where did he go?
He disconnected a little while ago, sorry.
Boo, no, all good. Nick, what do you think of ATC this year? What do you think of the level of competition?
I was pretty hyped. Definitely got my hobby juices flowing again. I don't want to be missing out again. So, been a long time since I've played in a tournament, and been a long time since I've been involved in anything that serious. But watching it all weekend, I feel like I could come back and give it a crack, see how we go,
mate.
But very impressed. I was very impressed with how everyone did. I'm very impressed with the terrain. That's the best we've seen in probably ever.
The best we've seen in Australia. Literally the best we've seen best I've seen in Australia. Sorry, I'll caveat that, because this is like the Winter Warfest terrain. This is what they played in on BrizCon, so the quality is very, very high. So I had a little chat over dinner last night. So ATC, you know what ATC is amazing for? You get some mid-tier players, yeah, and they're very, very good in this format, because if you pair them properly, mid-tier players can just crush. Put them on the right list, and it's very, very confidence building. And this is a platform where people who consider themselves mid-tier players catapult up in skill, in confidence, in knowledge of the game, because what happens is you get these 8 players together, so 8 players, and usually like 4 of them are hardcore tournament veterans, grizzled, whatever, know their stuff inside out, back to front. And then you spend 3 months of just sharing knowledge, imparting, growing. And you get guys like Ben Warrior, who he's got like 60 or 80 points or something. He's 20s every game. He's just gone to another level from this event. Liam last year from ATC went to another level from this event. Look at him now. He's a freaking name. He's a name in Australia, and he's like a trendsetter for orcs across the world. And that's
that's where Simon came
right
from
now,
too.
Camilleri. There's every chance that Vic will not get third.
How so? We're going to get jumped by Mercs?
Look, it's close. The Mercs are on 3 perfect 20-0s at the moment.
Ooh.
I don't know if it'll be enough to get them over the line for third, but it's certainly not going to be a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, dude, it's a thing. But so
I just had a quick look at the other rounds.
So Dean Sinbeck is another one. Dean Sinbeck was a very much a middling player, and he catapulted just into the kind of the upper tiers from his exposure to this. So for the players out there, like team events, this isn't just ATC. It's team events. Prepping for team events, it's intense study of matchups, of pairings, tables, terrain, player profiles, everything you need to do to grow in this scene, in this hobby, in this game. And just,
I'm going to put this out there like I did yesterday for you, Camilleri.
Yep.
We got invited on our live stream on Wednesday night on the OBSEC page. We got invited to the American Team Championships
ATC
in July or June or July next year for 2020.
Yep.
I want to see if we can put at least one team together.
Mate,
that'd be good to see. That'd be very good to see. These Americans.
I'm fortunate. I know one of the organisers, and I said to him, "Look, how serious are you at allowing an Australian team?" And he said, "Mate, if you can get guys over, I will make sure there is accommodation available for you at or near the venue. I will help you in any way we possibly can to get an Australian team over." I said, "How many teams can we have?" And he said they've got 50 teams of 5 happening this year, and they're moving venues so they can cater for 76 teams of 5 next year.
500 players this year. That's
250.
50 teams
of 5.
Oh, of course, sorry. I can't math. Boys.
Next year, the venue will allow them nearly 80 teams, though.
I'll come back.
So it's in Tennessee.
Who was that? Was that Nick?
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh, well, when we went to ETC in 2016, we had the Americans last round, and we got on great with them.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. They're very accommodating. They're all saying, come over for whatever tournament, Adepticon, LVO, any of them.
Yep.
They'll put us up.
And that's how I've met most of them as well. But yeah, so this is the American Team Championships that happen in Tennessee.
So their team championship is very different from ours. So ours is a very ATC-esque. Every state sends a team. Theirs is just as many teams as you can get together. We'll take them.
Yep. But this will be, if we actually get a team, even one Australian team, it'll be the first time they've allowed an international team in.
That's phenomenal. So
really? But hold on, they've had
Canadians.
Didn't Canada play?
Oh no, they don't count Canada.
They don't count Canada. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Look,
they've had international players.
I'm keen.
But not a full team.
Not a full team. They've had ring-ins and stuff. Look, I'm keen. Shit, word me up.
I'll step up.
We
can practice every weekend till we go.
If I'm worth taking, we'll see.
Oh no, man! At this point, I think it'd just be cool to go. So,
same here, man. Same here.
Once they basically told me once this event, I think it's running in July this year. He said once that one's done and they announce the formal dates for the following year, he'll get in touch.
Yep.
And then we can start a process if we want to put some teams together to go. So, It's basically the same format. It's one codex per team. 3 detachments, 2,000 points, 5 players. The matchup process is exactly the same. It's only 5 players though.
Yeah, it's their ATC practice, just like ATC is our ATC practice.
So it's definitely.
And we're going to get them to use Down Under Pairings.
Yep, that's the other thing I'm working on at the moment.
Dude,
because
that would be amazing.
I'm friends with the organisers, so they're still using pen and paper because what they do can't be accommodated by.
Yeah, because BCP can't do what this does.
Yeah,
and that's just all credit to Diff. He's put in an enormous amount of hours.
Well, I've also said to Chad, without Diffie saying I can or should or knowing I have, I've already said to Chad, if it doesn't do what it needs to do, tell me what it needs to do and we'll make it do what it needs to do.
It's very, very flexible. All right, back to these games, guys.
I will do absolutely anything he wants.
I'm just trying to get the eye of the WA coach, which I can't remember his name. What is his name?
Rob.
All right.
I've got him sat here. I've got a bunch of different chat tabs open as well with the boys.
You message him. I'll wait till he sees his phone, and I'll give him the bird when he looks at me. Do it. Do it, baby.
Well, I've still got him. He was part of the Merc team last year for ATC.
Dude,
so,
I was talking to him last night. His analytical mind is pretty spot on.
Yeah, he's a very, very good player, very strong player. He's been playing Night Lords for ages, and people used to give him shit about it. And then he'd come along and beat people with these like Night Lords in 7th Ed and the early parts of 8th edition. And people would look at him sideways and go, huh?
I respect that a lot. I respect that a lot. So it looks like Mick Larkin. Who's Mick playing? Is that Mitch?
I think it's Mitch.
Mick and Mitch. Looks like we've still got 2 knights left on the table. Possibly 3. There's half a Castellan on the board. Like literally, there's the top half of a Castellan on the board. I don't know whether they're just doing that for wobbly model or whatnot, or whether it's dead and they're just leaving it there for the lulz. But looking around, I still see a big amount of Bulgrin. So they can't be great. How do you see that matchup going, guys? Like Nick, Knights versus the same Drakari list we saw before, guys. What are your tip on the Knights versus them? I think the Knights actually do quite well.
Knights have been doing well on Maelstrom.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
There was 7 points to 0 at one point.
Ooh, that's awful.
Yeah, looking at the list on paper, I would definitely say the Knights, but
again,
without knowing more.
Josh was saying that Mitch had played very conservatively in deployment and in the opening parts of that game, and I just feel like that's a mistake for this round.
Yeah, balls to the walls there.
Well, there's
the onus
there's no point in not trying.
So
you have to win, and
exactly right.
Risk doesn't lose anything.
At the moment, Queensland. This is Queensland's to lose, so WA needs to take it from them. So you're absolutely right. Yes. So Talos do really well defensively against Knights. So if you stomp, you get 12 attacks, you get 8 hits, and then you wound on 3s. So you get 5 wounds, and he's going to save like 2 or 3 of them, and then let's say you save 2 of them, that's only it's 6 damage on the D3. Then you got a 6 up. You're going to save one of those. There's 5 damage. Doesn't kill 1 Talos with 1 Knight.
And there's no degrading there either.
Exactly right. It's actually heinously bad. But they do mop up the racks quite well when they get in there because all the stomps just start piling on.
But even the racks though, the racks are toughness 5.
Yep.
Which is deployed it right, so they're only wounding on 3s, and they've
correct.
still got the 4 up and the 6 up.
Yep.
Which means
it's the same issue. You kill like
3.
You kill 3. Yeah, you kill like 3 or 4, 2 or 3. But what I mean is like you start ganging up. You shoot down like 5 or 6. So what's up? Underneath the table. It should be. So when you look at the Crusaders are actually legitimately good against racks because they've still got the good profile. They're still hitting on 3s, winning on 3s. And they're 2 6s. So 12 shots, 8 hits. It's the same thing. 8 hits. 8 wounds, and then 4 go through, and those 4 usually 4 kills. And then you go when you kill another 4 in combat, and usually the rest will pop. That's what I mean. Like one Crusader takes out a unit of racks, whereas one Crusader does literally nothing to a unit of Talos.
Yeah.
But even then, each Knight needs to be killing for 3 turns. Needs to be killing a unit of racks every turn for 3 turns to clear all the racks. Otherwise, they're not doing anything. And that's it's amazing. All right, we are gonna get a little lowdown from the WA captain. Come here. How you doing, guys?
How you doing, boys?
Introduce yourself.
My name's Rob.
This is Rob.
WA.
This is WA.
Yeah.
Give us a lowdown. How you boys doing?
Dude, every result that's come in has completely cancelled out the previous result. It was neck and neck, and
Nice.
literally coming down to the last games.
So you need to speak up a little bit more. What are the pivotal games here?
Pivotal games would be if we can pull off the
We can't hear you, Rob.
They can't hear you, man.
if we can pull off the GSC beating Deathwatch, then I think we have it. That's a big ask. Otherwise, this type of mission just is so hard with Maelstrom deck, and it's going to come down to who gets a lucky draw from it.
So what you said, the GSC versus
Deathwatch.
Okay, and which? So you guys, your GSC player?
Yeah, so it'll be our GSC beating Deathwatch. So
Okay.
it's a-
How likely? How from the game board right now? It's totally in the balance.
as far as I can see, yeah.
All right. So as far as you can see, it's totally in the balance.
Well, considering we're expecting him to get smoked.
You're expecting him exactly right. Okay, Diffy's just given him. So you have now been deputized as our roaming commentator. He needs to get the range ruler. Range ruler deputized. Knight go do the Lord's work.
Thanks, boys.
No, we can hear you now, so you can just talk and we can hear you.
Hey, Rob.
Okay.
Bask is
Hey,
on here as well, man.
Hey, Basky.
So we got Bask and Nick Kelly joining us. Nick Kelly's a Victorian, an old hat veteran tournament champion. So how does that game look to you, Eric versus Tom? What the hell is going on there? Because neither guy looks super confident, but you can never tell with these two.
So you'd be looking at Eldar Flyers versus Tyranny. The Tyranny, but the Elwood.
So you're breaking up a little bit. I don't know what's going on there.
You just got to hold that mic a bit closer.
You've got to hold the mic pretty close. You got to hold it.
Yeah,
so,
no problem, man.
No. The mic's on your thing, on your pelt. Hold that up to your mouth. Other side. Yep, you got it. Just
Yeah,
hold that to your
we
mouth and
good?
talk. That's perfect.
How are we feeling? No problem. So as you would expect with an Eldar flyer list against a Horde army, the Horde basically took board control, but can't kill the flyers off. And so the longer the game goes, the more the flyers can kill off and start scoring late. So it's one of those games that the longer it goes, the better it gets for us. But yeah, it's a 3-up, 4-up dice roll. So
No, fair call. How many flyers are left on the board there? And what's kind of the body count left for the Tormagans?
there's still 3 flyers. Basically, the only gauntlets left are, the ones strung out across multiple objectives. But,
So Tom's just gone thumbs down.
Yeah, it's
So-
looking like he won't be able to clean out the rest of them in time. So Adam's got a rules query now. Anyway, looking to the next
So wait a
match.
sec. Sorry, could you guys talk for a sec?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. What's up?
Keep going, Rob.
No problem, man. So the next match is our Knights with Admech versus Death Guard, Mortarian, and the Plague Burst Crawlers. So this
From
match
what
has
we
been...
were told earlier, Mortarian went on a rampage.
Mortarian found Imperials, so he was able to,
Oh yeah, dude. Morty.
multiply attacks, and so the Taser Lance guys went in, but all their shots get bounced off to the Death Shroud as you'd expect, and then Mortarian goes to town on them. But otherwise, the Castellan's alive and Morty's dead, so it's got some duck shooting to do. And again, if the game goes longer, you can kill off more stuff. But the way the Maelstrom works in this, with your opponent, it's very much luck of the draw. So trying to pull off a big win is hard. This match is just finished up. The Drakari versus the Knights.
Yep.
Basically, with an open battlefield, the Knights never really had a problem. They got a good Maelstrom draw first, scored 5 points in the first 2 turns from Maelstrom.
Oh, wow,
This type of mission is really unheard of. And basically, Mitch was hemmed into the corner and had to effectively just try and score the Eternal Wars, which he was able to, but at the cost of the kill point cap. So the game ended a 17.
Nice.
And that should be in soon.
Ooh.
And then we're at the Death Watch versus GSC, which there is mountains of, GSC on their side, so they're probably all dead. But there's not many Death Watch left, and they're hemmed in. So
What about the
over the
tower
course
game,
of-
Rob?
the Tower game is a bloodbath. We get to see what happens when there's no drones left, finally. It's basically a Riptide and a couple of Fire Warriors fighting off 4 broadsides that are left.
So it's 4 broadsides versus Riptide and some Fire Warriors?
Yep.
So you'd back the broadsides to get through that
back
if there's
the
enough
broadsides.
if there's enough turns left in the game. Mind you, if the Riptide can get cover, he bounces broadsides like you wouldn't believe. The 3-up armors and then the D3 wounds, he just bounces them for days.
I think the massive thing is that objective.
Sorry, you're just breaking up there a bit, Mitch. Sorry, Rob. So from what I can tell, so the Knights beat the Dark Elder, and if Tom's correct and he's going down to Eric, your GSC has to kind of poleaxe to get this up.
I still reckon the round's a draw.
Yeah, how's Luke doing versus your essentially guard player with the Vultures?
G-Man's in base contact with a Terrier, so I don't think that's good.
That can't be good.
But otherwise, the guards still have a lot of stuff spread around the field, while the Marines are basically down to a Land Raider with 2 wounds remaining. I think a few Thunderfires in the back corner, unless they're in the dead pile, which is really confusing.
Yeah.
And then there's G-Man, but the Guard still have a couple of tank commanders and random platoon commanders standing on their home objectives. So
okay, so it's looking pretty good for the Guard, yeah.
Yeah. Again, it depends on the Maelstrom.
Yeah, but at that point, you could safely say that there's a lot of stuff left, and not a lot. When you see a lot of stuff, not a lot of stuff left, it usually starts to spiral for these games. Because as soon as you start controlling multiple mid-board objectives, your opponent's objectives, it just gets really messy. Where are we looking? Sorry, mate.
Our biggest problem was that going into this round, we knew that we had to beat Queensland.
Yeah,
and
you can't. Draw's not good.
People have played more aggressively because there's no. Basically, we're guaranteed second.
Yeah, there's nothing to lose.
Yeah, nothing to lose by throwing it against the wall, man. Just go
exactly.
for it. So, update on the GSC versus Death Watch. And sorry, no, update on Jake versus Ben, please. So come this way a bit more. Next table over, brother. Let us know how Jake and Ben are going.
We've just had an update on the scores with the Tyranids and the Inari, and it's a 20-0 win to Eric.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's rough.
Classic Eric.
Classic
33 to 6.
So that's, I think that's game, unfortunately, for WA. I think that's game for WA, boys.
It's all right. We'll fight it out.
Okay.
Anyway.
That's wow. That's okay. That's a huge swing. So I don't think it does not matter at this point. Unfortunately, I think Queensland is just wrapped up. That is a 20 versus Pete. That is a what was the score versus? There's a 24 Eric versus Tom. What's the score you think for Mick in the Dukari? What did that come down to?
17-3.
7. That's another big score. Okay, so literally every other game has to be huge for WA.
Yeah, we pulled an early 20 against Simon with the Custodes versus Drakari.
Yep.
But otherwise, that's probably the best score for us so far. And
so
the
everything
fact that we have to win is probably going to be the hardest thing for us.
Okay, so looks like we literally all we need is one more Queensland result. One more result their way. It pretty much has this bought and paid for.
Secure.
Yeah. So just waiting on one more score. If the next score comes in as WA, we continue until we hear otherwise. But right now, Basque, I am sorry, my brother. The drought is not going to break today. From
it doesn't look like it.
Doesn't look like it, man. This Queensland team, a lot of people walking into this event was like everyone else is playing for second because no one could really conceive Queensland losing. But WA was the only one that people thought was in contention to take it for them. A lot of people rated New South Wales quite highly. They've got a lot of good players, but I think we've discovered that their pairings process might not be up to scratch, and they need to go back and do a bit more prep on their teamwork. But look, WA walked in this to absolutely win it, and they came within a sniff. And look, who knows? A bunch of 20s fall their way. This starts looking like a draw again, and they can walk away. Look, WA, no matter what happens here, should be absolutely proud of themselves. They're walking into this Queensland ATC team is possibly the best and most prolific that's been fielded by any state.
Yeah, we said so earlier in the start of this round.
I wouldn't discount Victoria in, I think it was 2015 in Queensland.
Yeah, who was there? Who were the names?
2014. 2014 that year.
Was that you, Nick?
No,
I was playing for the Mercs.
I was Merc team in Queensland.
But Victoria, I think, won 3 rounds, 8-0.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mind you, last year Victoria got 160 to 0. They got 820s.
That year going into round 4, Victoria had already won ATC.
Yeah.
20 minutes.
And the last round was against the Merc team, but
20 minutes.
I will state this on my own reputation. 8 Victorians did win that round.
20 minutes.
Fantastic.
Because Josh Leondaris was on the Vic team, and he's the dirty South Australian. And I smashed him into the ground.
Nice, Nick. So we've just had the call. There's 20 minutes left in this round. What are you thinking? Like, what games are going to come in and finish soon? Our roaming reporter.
Well, having another look at GSC, there is a mountain of them in the middle of the table, inside an enclosed building.
Yep.
So,
what turn are they on?
We've just had Mick and Mitch confirm their scores at 17-3, so Queensland are now 57 to 23.
And they will need 65 to win it to guarantee a draw.
75 is the draw,
75.
so they need 18 points.
From
18 points from 4 games.
From 4 games. It's hard to.
You would assume that's really probably going to come about pretty comfortably.
Yeah, you'd have to assume, guys.
I mean, the Tower game's the one I'm probably assuming a bunch of those points will come from.
Yeah. Just trying to make eyes with Tom. Just give him some sexy eyes. He knows he needs a good time after that game. So what was that?
I'm not going to disturb the GSC game.
Yeah, it looks pretty tense, brother.
Very intense at the moment. But, I don't know, from Maelstrom cards sitting on the table, looks like Ben is up on Maelstrom.
So Ben's up on Maelstrom?
Yeah, but Death Watch look to be up on kill points.
Yeah, they'd have to be. It's GSC versus Death Watch. You'd have to assume they're up on kill. You're up on kill points. Yeah. And I guess that's the disparity in some armies at the moment. Like to make a good GSC list, you've got to take so many ablative kills. That literally don't function in any capacity for your winning or losing, apart from sitting on objectives. And it's just you can just bleed points, really bleed points.
3 points, but it's capped, isn't it?
It's capped at
Yeah, it
6, which is so confusing to me because Maelstrom's not capped, and some of these missions you can get 40 Maelstrom points.
Well, we've seen some of the scores yesterday that were 60s and 70s
Dude,
in total.
it's insane.
Maelstrom's capped in a number you can cap per turn, or has that changed?
No, it's per mission
you
now.
can only score 3 cards per turn, regardless of how many there were. So you can score essentially 6 at most, but if you get the priorities received, you can get 4 points off that. So you can score like 8 points per turn, at absolute maximum, unless you like
That's
kill
pretty substantial shift.
unless you kill like 6 units, and then you got the D3 plus 2 thing, and that's a 4.
It used to be 8 kill points capped and 2 cards per turn.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so they've upped it. Yeah. All right.
It does make them a tactical game, though, which is good. In a lot of ways, more enjoyable to watch.
Well,
Yeah,
back
that's true.
then when it was 8 kill points and 2 cards, it was Death Star Central.
It was. Yeah, you just played to not give up the kills.
That was it.
And here though, like literally just about any army is going to give up a bunch of kills. But look, I will tell you right now, I didn't give up. I got the 0-6. I got the 6 differential on kills every one of my games. And it's just my army just doesn't give up any.
Good. Go Tau.
Go Tau. Team Fish Cow. Team Tuna Beef. All right, mate.
So just
Any updates?
well, looking at the GSC game from that kill points, regard at the backup being actually still alive, which is good, because that's a lot of the cheap blatant kill points that you'd be giving away. Because the army has 4 20-man acolyte, 20-man flamer unit, so that's only 5 kill points.
Yep.
It starts dying with the 8 support characters, etc. that it has, but they're not dead. So kill points might be a bit.
So it's looking good. It's looking good for the GSC. Hard to say. You're not going to put your life on it.
I will be quietly
Sorry,
optimistic.
you got to hold the mic to your mouth. Otherwise, we just get.
Yeah. I'll be quietly optimistic, but the fact that we need to win convincingly, and they've already hard.
Yeah.
We've got 4 games remaining, and we need to.
You need at least
62.
You need 320s here.
Yeah.
So
419s. Don't worry about it.
yeah. So Diffy's just meandering, doing his good stuff.
Packing up, brother. I'll go this side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
just
nearly
packing
done.
up, just making sure it's nice and easy. I don't want it like last time where we miss out on the awards and whatnot because we had to pack it up and rush to an airport.
Rush to an airport, yeah. Literally, yeah. We finished the stream and we left. Within 10 minutes of the stream ending, we packed up, we were gone.
The rounds hadn't finished. Like our game had finished and we packed up and we left.
Yeah, it felt bad.
brutal.
It felt bad. So just give an update. It's what's Queensland on at the moment?
7 last time we checked for the last round score.
Yep. So essentially, WA needs 320s to get this.
Yeah, we 62.
So needs 62 points out of this.
Yep.
This
So
is,
we minimum need 4. 3 majors and a minor. But
Yep. So you're just chucking up. Oh, beautiful. So Diffy's just done a bit of a. Yeah, he's a wizard. He's a tech wizard. He's just jumped this around so we can see the scores now up on your screen. There should be for everyone to view. Big heads, massive voice. Massive voice. All right. So we got Liam Hackett versus Peter Platell. We know how that went. Rory still hasn't come in. Mick, we know he got a 17-3. 20-0, the Custodes. Man, what did Lachlan end up on overall? Has he got the one?
96, 94. He lost a couple of points against Victoria.
Yeah, it wasn't a perfect, but it was close.
Go Vic.
On the lava table, which is just a ton of enclosed buildings.
Sorry?
It's the enclosed buildings is what the Custodes suffer with.
We're just going to have a quick look at Victoria.
Yeah.
All right, Victoria is up on. Vic have got a draw no matter what happens from here, and we just need one more win to tilt that over to a win. And if we get 2 wins there, that should secure us 3rd place, which is quite respectable.
Yeah, it should do.
I'll go back to manage rounds. Go back to. Look, I know what to do. Diffy, I switched it back to the Queensland game by myself. Look at this. Calm down, everybody. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, so look, Ben Warrior, he's looking like he's going okay. I'm just have a quick stand up. The Castellan is still there, unfortunately, and it looks like all the DPs are gone. So unless he got a massive lead, it looks like Jake doesn't look happy though. From what I can read off his big Jake face.
Probably what you won't see from your line of sight is the Demon Prince in the back corner sitting on the home objective.
Nice.
So
go a Roman
that
for us,
means-
brother. Tell us what your Alphis see. I'll dub the Legolas from now on.
Yeah, basically Jake's not scoring any Eternals anymore because he's only got 1 unit, I believe.
He's only got the Castellan. Ooh, good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
But knowing Jake, that's all he ever wanted.
Yeah, exactly right.
He's enjoying his 3++ in Vulnerable until
for
it
the
gets
last
nerfed,
last time.
for the GW.
He's getting one last
the
run.
last time we'll ever see it.
So I played Jake in round 2, and his Castellan pulled him out of a 20 and got him I think it was a 6 points.
6 points.
He got 6
Yeah.
just because his Castellan just trucked on. I piled on the pain into him. He's like, nah, we're still going, and he always kept that 1 CP for that act at full, even when he had 2 points left instead of so if he had like five wounds left, and I had 2d3 damage, he held it, betting I wouldn't get the 5. I didn't get the 5. He spent the 1, went to the top profile, got him another 2 kill points. Yeah, big ball plays. We got any scores about to come in? Anything about to wrap up soon?
The Tower game looks like it's wrapped up.
Yeah.
Calculating now.
What's it looking like, you think?
I believe Ed pulled off a win.
So if that's the case, I think this.
Eternal War. And and Maelstrom lost on the kill points.
So we've just had
14-6.
So it's 57-23 at the moment. Queensland's away. So instead of 14-6 to Rory.
Yep.
So that'll put them up to 71.
Who won? Matt Ed won 14.
Oh, Matt Ed. Oh, beautiful.
WA win. Come on, boys. The
WA win. Sorry, man.
Oh,
Fuck.
wow.
Ooh. Nice. Well done. So that was was that a, what did you say it was? 14?
14-6.
14-6. So
Yep.
that puts Queensland up to 63.
Queensland need 12 more.
63 and up to 40, a square 40 for WA.
Yep.
Still on, it's still on, guys. Oh, whew.
It's in Queensland's hands to just get the remaining
still
games.
going.
12 points from 3 games. Yep.
It's. Yeah.
But I think Ben and Jake are about to finish up.
Yeah, it looks like they're about to put their scores in. Looks like Ben just said he got a 20.
Jake. Firm. Yeah.
That's it, guys. Ben
Sorry,
Warrior
boys.
has just locked this up.
We tried.
So that
Well,
will.
We could still draw the round. Get some respect.
Yeah.
Well, at the moment, assuming that 20-0 goes in, that'll give Queensland 83 with
83?
with 2 games in play.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sadly, it's a G-Man tank line versus guard tanks, so it should be close or something. But I think the Death Watch can get 2 points from DSC, and then it's done.
Yeah. Look,
You'd assume they can do that.
you got to assume it.
Yeah.
We will give this another 10 minutes, get one more result in. If it is Queensland way, we will wrap this up. If it is WA's way, we will stay the course, guys.
Yeah, man.
So, whew, it is a feisty fest here. I'm just gonna hit a refresh. Yeah, we've got 83 to 37 right now. So, need some 20s to go in. Need some 20s to go in for WA.
We need 2 points from the last two.
It could be a draw. Yeah. So Queensland has won this event. God damn, Big Head. His voice, holy crap. All right, so Queensland has won this. Queensland has won ATC 2019. They are essentially the best team in Australia. They're the best state in Australia for this year. They deserved it. No one realistically thought anybody with WA was going to be able to take it from them. Right now, WA can walk away with their head held high. They got 2nd place. No one can take that from them. But they can get some damn good bragging rights if they can get a draw out of this, okay? So we're sticking in.
Yep.
Well done, Queensland. Well done. That is a big win. How you feeling, man?
Oh, man. First year coaching. It's been fantastic.
First year coach?
Good experience, man.
Yeah. Are you going to play next year? Or are you going to go another round of coach?
We'll see.
Is this your bread and butter?
I've done some coaching for other gaming teams, not Warhammer though.
Yeah, what have you done? What have you done?
I do Dota coaching. So
Oh, really? I
Dota
just
2, yeah.
just tell them to play PA. Just pick PA. Pick PA.
that's how I know most of the Vic boys. Anyway. But yeah, no, it's been really good, and I think like it's something a lot of the teams should look into. Just having someone around to help, like when you've only got 15 minutes between matches, you're, people need to pack up models, especially like your GSC armies, etc. Or armies deep.
All right, so
Like,
we
we had no turnaround for lunch or anything.
So we have just been given the call that it's time to wrap this up, unfortunately. We're going to stick through for another one just to see if WA can get the draw.
No problem.
But it's kind of a moot point, unfortunately. Queensland has wrapped this up. We need to pack up. We need to get ready to move on.
Queensland
No problem, boys.
could get 0 for both these remaining games.
I still get the
Get the draw and therefore win the event.
They'll win the event. So even if they get a handful of points, this becomes a win. If they get double 20, this becomes a draw pretty much, or a couple of 19s, a couple of 18s. But realistically,
it does. Literally, the last 2 games don't matter.
Don't matter, man. So we're gonna love yous and leave yous.
They do for pride, man.
They do for pride. Absolutely for pride.
No, it's not that it doesn't matter. It just doesn't affect the result.
Doesn't affect the result.
Yeah.
So
I think if you get 4 wins and a draw, and you draw to the team that wins, and they also only get 4 wins and a draw, and you lose on comeback, second on comeback, that's pride right there, mate.
absolutely. All right, we're gonna wrap this up, guys. We're gonna live stream the awards. You want me to do it? I might be accepting awards. Well, that's a conundrum. Well, we'll figure it out. You might see us live on Facebook. We might be live streaming. Love you guys. Take care.